Good afternoon from Duluth, Georgia. Here at Gas South Arena, it's a battle for first place in the South as the 9-3 Atlanta Gladiators host the 9-5 South Carolina Stingrays. Guy Chiarenza here alongside Andrew Fleming on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Happy to bring this one to you today on a Sunday afternoon from Georgia. Should be a good one. The previous two battles between these two teams have been electric, low scoring, and right down to the wire. Expecting something similar here today in the third meeting of 9 on the season between Atlanta and South Carolina. Andrew, the Gladiators are coming off of a big win last night in this building against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Had lost the previous two to end their 4-game road trip, came back on home ice, and took care of business against Greenville.
Yeah, I thought last night was a great bounce-back win for the Gladiators. You know, you have that 2-game skid on the road trip, you come back home, and you get a nice win against Greenville. They went down early in the first period. A little bit of a sluggish first period last night for the Gladiators, but they really picked it up in the second and third period to secure themselves a nice home win last night.
Atlanta did find themselves down after one period of play, but they were able to rally with 2 goals and 49 seconds in the second period to take the lead. As first it was a goal from Mike McNamee on what you called a circus shot. Pops it up into the air. It's the back of the netminder Charleston. Ends up in the back of the net. And then just 49 seconds later, Joey Cipollone scored his first of the night to give the Gladiators the lead. Dante Sheriff would tie the game late in the second period, but in the third period it was all Gladiators. As Penn Campbell would say, all gas, no brakes. Atlanta potted 2 more, one from Ryan Nolan and another from Joey Cipollone to get the win. Ethan Hyder stopped 23 of 25. And we bring ourselves to the special teams battle, which we will take a close look at here today. Yesterday was 2 teams that had a similar theme on special teams. Greenville and Atlanta both really good on the penalty kill, struggling on the power play. Last night the Gladiators go 0 for 2 on the power play, but 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Tell us a little bit about what we should expect here today between Atlanta special teams and South Carolina's.
Yeah, so you just mentioned, Guy. Last night we had 2 teams very similar on their special teams. Today we have 2 teams that are the complete opposite. Right now the Gladiators, bottom third of the league in the power play, top 10 in the league on the penalty kill. South Carolina, top 10 on the power play, bottom 10 in the league on the penalty kill. So we'll see. It's going to be unstoppable force meets immovable object here on special teams today. We'll see what gives first. It'll be interesting to see.
And today could be a good opportunity for the Gladiators, who've been struggling on the power play, to maybe get 1 or 2 here today against a South Carolina penalty kill that has struggled to start the year. To put it into perspective, the Gladiators have gone 0 for 11 on the power play over their last 4 games, but they've been really, really good on the penalty kill, going 12 for 12 on the PK in that same span. So we'll see if Atlanta can jumpstart its power play here today against a South Carolina team that has not been too good at killing off penalties. And conversely, Atlanta has been one of the more disciplined teams in the league this year. They are the most disciplined team in the South Division right now. Lowest PIMs amongst any team in the division. South Carolina second in that figure, just behind Florida. So think about 2 teams. One gets a bit scrappy, the other not as much. We'll see if South Carolina can end up going to the penalty box here every now and then. Give Atlanta a couple breaks on the power play. But Andrew, Gladiators are one of the best defensive teams in the league. We know this because they are first in the league when it comes to goals against per game. Atlanta averaging 1.67 goals against per game. They do it with great goaltending in between the pipes. We'll see TJ Septenfelter back there here today. But last 2 games between these 2 teams have been very low-scoring affairs. South Carolina really likes to score the first goal, and when they do, they are a perfect 5-0. They like to play a very defensive-minded game as well. What should we look for here in that matchup between the Gladiators and the Stingrays?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. The last 2 times we've seen South Carolina, Mitch Gibson's gotten the start. Today we will not be seeing Gibson. We will be seeing Seth Isley. So Isley comes into this game so far this season. Isley at 2-0, but a .392 goals against average and an .877 save percentage. So Gibson's had a much better start to the season than Isley has. So it'll be interesting to see if the Gladiators can break through on I'll call it a weaker goaltender for South Carolina here today.
Seth Isley is coming off a performance in which he stepped 23 of 26 against Orlando last Saturday. It was a 5-3 win for the Stingrays at North Charleston Coliseum. Stingrays are on a road trip right now. They lost their last 2 to the Florida Everblades on Wednesday and Friday. They're looking to get back into the win column here today against a Gladiators team that seems to be soaring as they put 4 up on the Greenville Swamp Rabbits yesterday in this building. Atlanta's been very good on home ice this season. They are 5-1 in this building. And for the Stingrays, they've spent a lot of their season on the road. The Stingrays are perfect at North Charleston Coliseum. They're 5-0 at home, but on the road, the Stingrays a bit of more mixed figure at 4-5. As today is a battle for first place in the division, with both teams tied for second with 18 points. Florida 1 point ahead at 19, but the Everblades are inactive today. They are off, so the winner of today's game will have sole possession of first place in the division. Should be a good one. TJ Septemfelter will get the start for Atlanta. Seth Isley will make the start for South Carolina. And we'll get to the starting lineups here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network when we come back to this special contest between Atlanta and South Carolina. We are back on the Gladiators Broadcast Network in just a couple of minutes.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Welcome to Gas South Arena for today's matchup between the South Carolina Stingrays and the Atlanta Gladiators, both tied for second place in the South Division. Stingrays at 9-5. Gladiators at 9-3. This is game number 13 on the season for Matt Ginn's Atlanta Gladiators. They will look to pick up win number 10 on the campaign and leap into first place in the South Division. Got a good one on tap between two South Division rivals. It is the third meeting of 9 between these two clubs this season, and it will be the first meeting of the week between these two, as we will see South Carolina again on Wednesday night. So it's going to be a lot of Gladiators and Stingrays coming up. Today we'll get to the starting lineup between South Carolina and Atlanta. We'll start with the South Carolina Stingrays, continuing their road trip after dropping their first 2 in Florida. South Carolina has spent a lot of the first part of the season on the road. This is the Stingrays' 10th road game. And so they spent a lot of time away from the confines of North Charleston Coliseum. They will look to pick up a win here in Atlanta to open up the week. Starting at left wing is number 17, Patrick Thomas, making his first appearance in the season series. Thomas is under contract with the NHL's Washington Capitals. He's a former third-round pick of Washington, as he was, fourth-round pick of Washington back in 2023, 104th overall. Thomas stands at 6'1", 185 pounds, and is a native of Oakville, Ontario. He was assigned to South Carolina earlier in the week, and I feel like this is a guy that could be deadly here today, as he did pick up a goal on Friday against the Florida Everblades. Thomas has 1 goal in 2 games with the Stingrays so far this season. Getting the start down the middle at the center position is Kyler Kupka, wearing number 18 for South Carolina. Forward stands at 6 foot even, 185 pounds, and is dangerous. As the Gladiators do know, Kupka was the one who scored the lone goal in the last meeting between these two clubs, a 1-0 South Carolina victory at North Charleston Coliseum last Friday. Kupka on the year has 8 goals and 4 assists for 12 points in 14 games to lead the club. And with that figure, he has 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 4 games. Was scoreless on Wednesday against Florida, but did score a goal on Friday in South Carolina's loss. So watch out for Kupka here today down the middle. His starting right wing is number 26, Caden Bolson, standing at 6'3", 192 pounds, native of Wilmar, Minnesota. As off to a pretty good start to the campaign, as Bolson has 4 goals and 1 assist for 5 points in 13 games. Bolson is under contract with the AHL's Hershey Bears. Getting the start on the back end at left defense is number 2, Romain Rodzinski for South Carolina, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. The native of Blainville, Quebec, will be paired up with number 9, Riley Webb, standing at 6'4", 201 pounds. The native of Stony Creek, Ontario, rounds out the starting 5 skaters for the Stingrays. Rodzinski on the season has 4 points in 13 games. Webb on the year has 2 points in 14. Getting the start between the pipes for South Carolina here today, making his first appearance of the season series is number 35, Seth Isley, standing at 6'5", 201 pounds. Native of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, is playing in his 4th game on the season with a record of 2-0 at 3.92 goals against average and an .877 save percentage. Isley on the season look to keep his perfect record and lead the Stingrays to their 10th victory of the season. He is coming off of a victory in which he stopped 23 of 26 against the Orlando Solar Bears last Saturday at North Charleston Coliseum, a 5-3 win for South Carolina. The Stingrays are led by head coach Dave Warsofsky. Assistant coaches are Scott Davidson and Mike Hamilton. And that is the starting lineup for the Stingrays. Now it's time for the starting lineup for your Atlanta Gladiators. Getting the start at left wing off of his best performance of the season, it's the captain, number 16, Cody Sylvester, standing at 5'11", 192 pounds. The native of Kelowna, BC, had 2 apples in yesterday's game, as it was his first multi-point game of the season. Sylvester now up to 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points in 12 games. He'll look to back that up with another good performance here today against the Stingrays. Getting the start at the center position for Atlanta is number 29, Louis Boudon, standing at 5'11", 190 pounds. The Frenchman has 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points in 12 games. Starting at right wing with Boudon is number 22, Isaac Walter, standing at 6'4", 205. The Swedish forward has 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points in 12 games this season, and will be the starting forward line for Mackin's Atlanta Gladiators. On the blue line, getting the start at left defense is number 8, Ryan Conroy, standing at 5'9", 185. Native of Chestermere, Alberta, has 1 point in 12 games. He'll be paired up with number 39, Chad Nychuk, standing at 6'1", 194 pounds. It was a rare occurrence last night for Nychuk, was held scoreless, but he has been very good on the back end in terms of point production and defensively as well for the Gladiators, as he has 2 goals and 8 assists for 10 points in 11 games on the campaign. Nychuk is under contract with the Milwaukee Admirals, our AHL affiliate, and he was returned to the Gladiators from Milwaukee earlier in the week. Speaking of a man that is under contract with the Admirals, that is none other than your goaltender tonight, number 35, TJ Semptimphelter. Standing at 6'1", 190 pounds, he has taken over the league. He is statistically the best goaltender in the ECHL coming into today. He's the first in goals against average, First in save percentage, Felter will make start number 7 on the campaign here today with a record of 4-2, a 1.18 goals against average, and a 947 save percentage. He has been sensational and has 1 shutout on the season on top of all that. His parents are in the building. Got to say hi to the Felters last night. There's someone looked upon another show here today and help the Gladiators improve to 10-3. Other noteworthy things for the Gladiators here today. Kaylin Lind left the game at the end of the first period after taking a hard hit at the end of the first period. Did not return at the end of yesterday's game. He is out today. Mickey Burns slides in on that second line with Alex Young and Joey Cipollone. Third line will be Carson Denemy with Mike McNamee and Ryan Francis. That remains the same. And making his professional debut here today is number 23, Riley Appelt, sliding in on the fourth line. Wearing number 23, Appelt stands at 6'3", 201 pounds, and is a native of Edmonton, Alberta. Appelt will make his professional debut here today, coming off a season last year with Grant MacEwan University, where he had 2 points in 25 games. If you look up Riley Appelt's name in YouTube, you'll see all of his fights back from his junior days. You can't fight in college, so none of that there for Appelt over the last 4 years. But now, anything goes for number 23. We'll see how he does in his professional debut, with Ethan Scardina as his center and Ryan Nolan as his right wing. On the blue line, Anthony Furiolo will be once again paired up with number 2, Brendan Less. Andrew Jarvis, wearing number 6, will be paired up with number 3, Jack Robilotti. Ethan Hyder, coming off the win yesterday, gets the day off. He is the backup to Felter, as the Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. The equipment manager is Ben Ellis, and our great athletic trainer is Nick Nelson. 3-man officiating crew here today for today's game. It is the same 3 that we saw last night in the game against Greenville. Our referee today is Emile Charon, wearing number 43. Linesmen are Quinn Schaefer, wearing number 49, and Kyle Gaspari, wearing number 67. Gladiators are wearing their white jerseys here today. White base, script Atlanta Gladiators front across the middle, and on the back, blue numbers with Gladiator gold trim. Stingrays are wearing their red jerseys with white numbers and professional blue trim. It is pretty much the same jersey template that the Washington Capitals use. They will skate from left to right to begin play here today. The Gladiators from right to left. The Stingrays are affiliated with the AHL's Hershey Bears and the NHL's Washington Capitals. The Gladiators are proud affiliates of the Milwaukee Admirals of the AHL and the Nashville Predators of the NHL. Coming up next here from Duluth, the national anthem and pregame festivities. We come back here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. It is first period puck drop between South Carolina and Atlanta.
Please remove caps and stand with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave men and women who served our country with the singing of the national anthem. And we say thank you to everyone. And delivering today's game puck from Crumble Cookies.
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia. For the third time this year, it is the Atlanta Gladiators taking on the South Carolina Stingrays. Guy Chiarenza with you alongside Andrew Fleming. Got a good one on tap. It is a battle for first place in the South Division. Florida Everblades are currently sitting in first with 19 points, but they are off today, which means these two teams who are tied with 9 wins apiece for second place. The winner today has sole possession of first place in the division. Last few matchups have been very low scoring. The first one was a 2-1 win for the Gladiators in this building. The second one was a 1-0 win for the Stingrays at North Charleston Coliseum. Figures today might be the same thing, and so we'll keep a keen eye on how both teams fare offensively, especially early on. South Carolina very good when they scored the first goal. They are 5-0 when they do so. Atlanta will look to get off to a hot start. Pick up win number 10 on the year. Starting netminders here today for South Carolina. Making his first appearance in the season series is number 35, Seth Isley, with a record of 2-0, 3.92 goals against average, and an .877 save percentage. He will look to lead the Stingrays to their 10th win. Across from him is the best statistical goaltender in the league, number 35, TJ Septemfelter, the rookie that has taken over the ECHL. Has a record of 4-2, a 1.18 goals against average, a .947 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. He has been the league's best, and he will look to lead the Gladiators to their 10th victory on the campaign. Kyler Kupka will meet Louis Boudon at center circle. Puck is dropped, and away we go from Gas South Arena. Gladiators will pound it into Stingray territory. Krenzen slides it up, and the Stingrays scurry out. Bolson threads it behind Thomas into Gladiator territory. Thomas was assigned by the Hershey Bears, from Hershey by Washington, to South Carolina earlier in the week. Picked up a goal in South Carolina's last game against Florida on Friday. This is game number 3 in a Stingray uniform for him. Meanwhile, the Gladiators get the Stingray territory, but nothing forthcoming there. Stingrays quickly pelt it out, and they get off for a line change. Chad Nychuk, who was assigned from Milwaukee to Atlanta earlier in the week, playing in his second game back, threads it to the left side for Conroy, who drives it into Stingray territory. We'll go around the boards to the far corner for Burns. Mickey Burns, the Mercyhurst product, slides it along the wall to the half wall. Nobody there except a Stingray in the area. There's Ludwig Persson, who was also reassigned by Washington from Hershey to South Carolina earlier in the week. Stingrays got 3 guys back from Hershey. Connor Mayer, who we'll see on the blue line for South Carolina today, along with Thomas and, of course, Persson. Alex Young with the puck for the Gladiators. Had 2 assists yesterday for his 5th multi-point game of the season. He is the team leader in that category. Dumps it down and heads on off to the bench. Stingrays weasel their way out to center. Backhand pass across is on time for Howardchuk. His shot goes well wide of the net, defended well by Robilotti. In his first full year of professional hockey, Robilotti gains the red line. Jolts it around the boards to the near side where Denemy has a man down low, takes the return feed, and whips a backhand shot on goal. That is stopped by Isley.
Nice little give and go there by Mike McNamee and Carson Denemy. Denemy gets it down low to McNamee, cuts to the net. McNamee gives it right back to him, and Denemy gets a good-looking goal, but a good first save by Isley here.
We saw Ryan Nolan score in a very similar play made by Mike McNamee last night. Just very tough along the boards was McNamee. Quickly got it to Nolan for a one-timer below the right circle for the score. And you see McNamee on that last play combining for a similar one with Denemy. Watch out for number 27 tonight. He's coming off a game where he had his first goal of the year and 1 assist as well. McNamee behind the net, cycles up high to Jarvis. From the left circle, he shoots. Looking for a tip in, that goes wide. Gladiators spent a lot of time this week during practice doing tip drills. And thinking back to it, I can probably count on one hand how many times the Gladiators have scored off a tip-in. Something that they want to get better at this year. As Robilotti winds it in down low. Stingrays are there to meet him. A pelt on his first professional shift. Jumps down a Stingray. Lyndon Breen got the full force of number 23 in white. That's a way to make a statement on your first pro game.
Yeah, it's a great way to start your first professional shift. Landed a big hit there by Riley Appelt.
Appelt on a line with Scardina and Nolan here today. That line still out there as the Stingrays work it up high. Shot by Webb goes off the skate of Conroy to the far corner. Stingrays will continue to work there as Bolson able to sauce it across, just out of the reach of Webb, and there is Appel again, helping clear the zone. From center circle, the Stingrays come flying back in. Kupka drop pass to Bolson. Kupka takes in the return feed below the goal line. Push it to the near half wall. Another big hit by Appel, this time on Webb. He's just bulldozing Stingrays to start the game, and he will head off. What an opening shift and a statement shift in Appel's first professional game. He sets the tone physically for the Gladiators as the Stingrays knock it down near Semptenfelter. The New Jersey native will come out to play the puck. He'll leave it for Brendan Less, and the Gladiators will turn up ice. Here is Walter on the right wing. Tries to feed it in front. Shot, score! Anthony Furiolo is there to bang it in, and the Gladiators strike first.
It's a great drive wide by Isaac Walter. Centering pass from behind the net. Kicks off a skate. Finds Anthony Furiolo wide open in the slot. And he makes no mistake there on that one-timer. Nice early 1-0 lead for the Gladiators here.
That goal comes 3:50 into the first period. Atlanta off and running. Anthony Furiolo gets the goal. It is his third of the season, his 6th overall. Isaac Walter did the heavy lifting, fed it out in front. Furiolo was there pinching from the back end. He's able to shove it in for the opening goal of the day. So Atlanta strikes first off the hard work from Isaac Walter. Anthony Furiolo with goal number 3. Walter with the assist. We'll see if they tack on a secondary on that play, as the puck did pinball around a bit in front before getting to Furiolo. And the Gladiators dump it back in, looking for more. South Carolina able to get it back out to center. Gladiators stuck them at the line. Great play made by Brendan Less. He's been very underrated in his career. Great defensive defenseman so far to start the year for Atlanta. Bernard will go around the net for South Carolina. He is cut off again, this time by Less. Another good play for number 2 in white. Locates Alex Young. Exchanges with Jarvis. And we enter it to the neutral zone. Quick pass, and Cipollon's got it. Tried to feather it back into the middle for Burns. Pass just a touch away from him, so a shot from the wall goes into the belly of Isley. And we will pause with 15:11 left in the first.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Furiolo goal there, guy. Great entry by Isaac Walter. You know, Walter's a big body with speed, and he uses his size and speed to drive wide around the defense, and a great centering pass for Furiolo there by Walter.
Louis Boudon is listed as the primary assist, so Walter fed it to the middle. Boudon get a shot off on Isley, and then the rebound came to Furiolo, who fired it in for the goal. Atlanta has a 1-0 lead 5 minutes in. South Carolina shut down on a zone entry and forced to dump it down to Semptenfelter. Gladiators this season, when scoring first, are 6-1. Stingrays, when trailing first, are 4-3. Cipollone jolts it deep into South Carolina territory. He will give chase. Cipollone with 2 goals last night, has 3 goals in his last 2 games. Number 71 playing some of his best hockey of the year, coming off a career year last season with Atlanta. Stingrays repossess, pass away from Mayer. Conroy on the left side takes it in and fires through the slot and out the other side. Momentum carries the puck all the way back down to Atlanta territory.
I like that shot there by Conroy. Seeing eye shot through a screen. He didn't miss by much there.
Chad Nychuk whacks it off the near wall and in. He's met by Romain Rodzinski. Ryan Francis there in the forecheck, keeping things alive for Atlanta. Quick pass to the middle, over the stick of McNamee. Held at the line by Conroy. Feathering it left side, shot by Denemy. Off a skate and away from the goal mouth. And South Carolina will clear on what should be an icing, and it is waved off. Here's a steal for South Carolina. Centering feed broken up by McNamee. In deep was Lyndon Breen for South Carolina, making a good play. On the back check, the Gladiators able to make a defensive stand. Furiolo with it. The Army product gets to the red line. Tries to stash it into South Carolina's zone, but having none of that was Thomas. Finds an open man on the right side. Bolson around the net. Looks to center. Away from Kupka. Broken up by the Gladiators. Appelt able to force it out to center. Kupka returns it to Thomas. Grinding in on the right side. Feeds it to the slot. Away from the intended target. Goes out the other side and returned to Thomas below the goal line. Centers again for a one-timer. This time it goes on goal from Bolson. And Septemfelter rises to the occasion to make the save. Shot by Krenzen at the line. Blocked by Appelt. Appelt so strong. Shoulders away Kupka. And they spar for it again on the near side half wall. Stingrays get it to the line. Krenzen across. Stingrays try and work their way deeper. Puck meanders to the slot. Septemfelter covers. And with 12:38 left in the first period, we take our first break. Atlanta has a 1-0 lead on Anthony Furiolo's first of the night and his third of the year. Gladiators look to add to their lead when we come back on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back to Duluth. The Gladiators have a 1-0 lead off of Furiolo's third goal of the season. Atlanta will look to add to that lead, but for now, South Carolina gets to work in the offensive zone. Person taps to the end wall. South Carolina hangs on to it from low to high. Rodzinski thinks about shooting but doesn't. Sidesteps and now fires. Stopped by Septemfelter. The rebound goes to Person, and he will score to tie the game at 1.
That whole play starts with Rodzinski with some nifty skating on the blue line there. You know, he could have taken that first shot there, but he's patient with the puck. He makes a couple moves, gets a shot on net. Septemfelter kicks out the rebound. And the rebound is potted right there by Person to tie this game up.
For Person, it is his first goal of the season. Was assigned by the Washington Capitals from Hershey to South Carolina earlier in the week. He is under contract with Washington. He is a former third-round pick, number 85 overall back in 2022 of Washington. He's able to pick up that juicy rebound and score to tie this game up at 1. We're even again. Cooley with it for South Carolina. Finds Rodzinski, who took the initial shot that produced the rebound for Person to score on. He loses it. Flying in is Burns. Toe drag shot fought off by Isley. Good blocker save there on the Mercyhurst product. Long pass. Simmers down near Septemfelter. He prods it to the near side where Conroy jolts it out. Puck is returned to Septemfelter. Finds Conroy again. And 11:28 left in the first period. South Carolina's goal scored by Person, assisted by Rodzinski and Lipen. Ryan Francis with it for Atlanta. Flings it back to Brendan Less. Jalen Lipen, still a point per game. 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points in 12 games for South Carolina this season. With the secondary assist on the goal from Person. South Carolina comes barging back in. They are offside with 10:56 left in the first.
Today's starting goal is brought to you by Winneck Rico.
Lipen now with his secondary assist has 1 goal and 4 assists in his last 4. Did have 1 assist on Friday. Neutral zone face-off won by the Stingrays. They'll rip it around to the near side where it's met by Bolson. Reverses it back to the far end. Gladiators poke it off the wall and turn up ice. Denemy with McNamee. Denemy slams it off the end wall to McNamee on his forehand. Has to leave it for Francis. Denemy in the area as well. Puck will ride up the boards thanks to Francis. Return back behind the net to McNamee. And he gets pinned up there, shaken off the puck, which leaks over to the far corner. South Carolina will possess. 2-on-2 up ice. Here is Mayer dropping it off for Bolson. Mayer takes it back in the far corner. Centers in front off the skate of Les. Puck hits the side of the net. Wraparound chance is denied by Furiolo, making the defensive play on the goal line. Stingrays again try and feed it to the slot. This time for Bolson. Broken up by Les. Long chance, stopped by Sentenfelter. The rebound is kicked away as well. Wrap around, and it does not go, but eventually comes to the Stingrays, and they score. It is Bolson to make it 2-1 South Carolina.
Yeah, Gladiators just running around in their own zone a little bit there. Couple of close calls on Sentenfelter. Eventually the puck gets wrapped around, finds the stick of Bolson, and he buries it to give South Carolina a 2-1 lead here.
Well, it looked like the Gladiators were going to get lucky there, but eventually the puck makes its way to Bolson. Sentenfelter's in no man's land. Can't do anything about it. And Bolson has got goal number 5 on the season. And that goal has given South Carolina the lead. 2 goals on 6 shots for the Stingrays. And they take their first lead of the day. Gladiators ice the puck on the ensuing faceoff. 9:51 left in the first period. Face-off to the right of Sentenfelter. Scardina will take it, going up against Jalen Lipin. Gladiators win the face-off.
Assist by number 22, Ludwig Person, and it comes at 9:57 in the first quarter.
Goals assisted by Kupka and Person on the goal from Bolson. The puck will go to the far corner of the Gladiators zone. Hard battle there, won by the Gladiators. Robillati off the near wall, gets it to the line. Shot from Krenzen, steered away by Sentenfelter. Bodies collide on the far side wall. Jarvis a bit shaken up as Robillati blocks the shot in the slot from Lipin, and the puck will escape the zone. Jarvis took a hard check on the far boards, was able to get back up, and he has the puck now. From the red line, blasts it into the protective netting and takes a shot after the play. This from Howardchuk, and they are up in arms afterwards. Jarvis in a headlock courtesy of Howardchuk. We will get the first penalty of the game. Boudon dancing with Webb. Gloves are off and tempers flare. South Carolina leads it 2-1 with 9 minutes left in the first period. We are back after this on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble Shake. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Ben Howardchuk in the box for South Carolina as the Gladiators headed to the first power play of the game. Power play is presented by Eco Electric. And Atlanta will look to try and solve their power play woes. So they are 0 for 11 on their last 4 games, going up against a South Carolina penalty kill that is the second worst in the ECHL. South Carolina's penalty kill operating at 74.4%. This Gladiators power play operating at 13.5%. It is the 26th best unit in the league. So we'll see if something gives for the Gladiators here. Mike McNamee will take the face-off up against Skylar Kupka to the right of Isley. Let's have it off the face-off. Sylvester spins at the left point, tries to deliver it down low, passes read by Webb. Trying to get it out, but it's held in. Les delivers to the left side, glances off a stick, but is held in by Sylvester. Returns it to Les at the line, feeds it to the right side. From the circle, Francis spinning. Tries to find a man at the line, but it splits the 2 personnel up there in Sylvester and Les. And so the captain forced back into his own territory. And they'll have to regroup and reload. Here is Sylvester over center circle, slingshotting it back to Francis. The speedster enters the zone from the left wing. Tries to play up high, but Stingrays cut him off and chip it down for a clear. And something we saw yesterday, Andrew, was Brendan Les added to this first power play unit, where we'd usually see Chad Nychuk.
Yeah, just trying to change up something here to get this power play going. Trying a couple different combinations here as we got Nychuk on the ice for the second unit here.
So Nychuk now quarterbacking the second power play unit for the Gladiators, who slam it into the near corner. Met there by Krenzen for South Carolina. Series of quick passes, and the Stingrays will skate it through the neutral zone. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Hawerchuk. In the box for cross-checking. Young with the puck for the Gladiators. Turns up ice and feeds it across. Hits a stick and goes out of play. 24 seconds left on Atlanta's power play.
Yeah, Gladiators, again, just not really able to set up their power play in the Stingray zone. The Stingrays are being really aggressive on the penalty kill, getting sticks in passing lanes and breaking up passes. Gladiators, they got to get able to set it up in their zone here.
It feels like ever since the Stingrays got that first clear, the Gladiators have had trouble with their zone entries, and as you said, have not been able to set up shop. Faceoff is won by Atlanta at center circle. They've got 20 seconds left on the power play. Walter rushes it to the left side. Puck will trickle down to the end wall. Stingrays pelt it to the right point where it's held in by Nychuk. He'll deliver it down low to Cipolone. From behind the cage, prods it to the left. Pass to Young, makes it up top. Takes in the return feed on the half wall. From the corner, puck is contested. Out of the box is Hawerchuk. Unsuccessful eco-electric power play for the Gladiators. And it remains a 2-1 Stingray lead. Hawerchuk beats out Nychuk to the puck, and Nychuk has lost his stick. The enemy there to regain possession for Atlanta, lifts it to the neutral zone, and Nychuk will head off and get a new one. Meanwhile, Guzzo has the chance, but the puck rolls off of his stick in the high slot. Puck is picked up by Cooley, and his shot is fought off by Septemfelter. Stingrays leading the shot count 9-4 and have a 2-1 lead. 6:22 left in the first period. Conroy draped over by Cooley. They're able to fight him off. No penalty called. Atlanta able to streak up ice. Scardina along the left wing. Feeds it to the slot. Nolan fights for it. And chases it to the far corner. Appelt working with him. 23 and 24 for Atlanta. Grinding on the far corner. Get it to the circle. Pass to the goal line. Onto the tape of Scardina. They'll rip it through the slot. At the left point, Furiolo has it. Finds Nolan at the left wing half wall. He'll spin and survey, but not a line of time to do that. Guzzo swindles it away and powers it back out to center. Furiolo wastes no time. Glad's in the middle of a line change. He'll take a shot from the left wing into the glove of Isley. Horn will sound, and we will head to timeout with the Stingrays leading 2-1 with 5:39 left in the first. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network. We are back in 1 minute.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for every.
Get to the keys to the game today, presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda with head coach Matt Ginn. First key was to get off to a good start. Gladiators did score first, but the last two have belonged to South Carolina. Second key was to play fast and play direct. And the third key is to win the gritty areas. And number 23, Riley Appelt, in his first professional game, has done a really good job of that. Gladiators looking to tie the game now. Down by one with 5:33 left in the first. Here is Boudon, brushing it to the left side for Sylvester. From the corner, spins away and delivers it up high to Jarvis. Cross ice, shot by Robilotti, tattooed off the end wall. Sylvester, back on the left wing, able to scamper his way to the corner. But pinballs around a bit, leaps into the air. It's onto the tape of Walter. Gets it to the line for a shot by Jarvis. That's blocked. Rebound to Boudon. We have a penalty here, and it's going against the Gladiators.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be on Cody Sylvester there. Shot comes into the slot. Sylvester's got his stick up. Looks like he just hooked the Stingrays defenseman here, and the Gladiators got a kill here.
So we go to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill for the first time today, which for the Gladiators has been their strong suit this season. Atlanta is one of the best penalty kill units in the league. 89.5% coming into today. 7th best in the ECHL. South Carolina power play, though, top 10 unit, operating at 21.2%. 9th best in the ECHL. Shorthanded is Conroy. Skates it out of his own end off the face-off victory. Powers towards the net and almost sneaks it in. Isley able to hug the post as Conroy all the way back from Semptenfelder started that play and almost finished it with a goal.
Yeah, nice rush there by Ryan Conroy for a shorthanded opportunity there.
Thomas in deep for South Carolina. Threads it up to the left point. Puck is chucked across to the right to Pinard. At the line, Moore feeds it in, but I'm going to say that it escaped the zone. Moore palms in the air saying, I'm not so sure, but the Eagle Eye linesman saw what he called. Stingrays are offside.
Good break for the Gladiators there, because it looked like South Carolina was going to get a chance off that play. But the puck just pops out of the zone there on Connor Moore up at the point.
Gladiators' penalty kill has been sensational this season. Has gone 12 for 12 over its last 4 games. And think about this for the Gladiators. Sometimes it's not the worst thing for them to be on the penalty kill. Gladiators have scored as many shorthanded goals this season as they have power play goals. They've scored more shorthanded goals this season than power play goals against that they've allowed. So it's been a very good unit for the Gladiators this season. 1:10 left on the penalty to Sylvester. Howardchuk in on the right side, gets to the goal line and spins it back up top to Rodzinski. Rodzinski from low to high has Bolson. Has the second goal in today's game for South Carolina. They'll cycle it across to the left wing where Howardchuk takes it in at the point. Able to squirm his way to the corner, surveys a bit, plays it back up top. Howardchuk again from the goal line, centers for a one-timer by Person that screeches wide. Rodzinski at the line, fires into the glove of Semptenfelder with 3:40 left in the first and 37 seconds left on the penalty to Sylvester.
Yeah, it was a nice setup by the Stingrays to get Person up in that high slot bumper area for that one-timer. He just missed the net. The Stingrays with some good movement here on their power play, but the Gladiators doing a good job keeping all the opportunities to the outside.
Keep in mind the Gladiators are shorthanded, so there's a little bit more open ice. But Andrew, I think we've seen it at least 3 or 4 times today where the Stingrays work it in deep and just try and center for a one-timer in the slot. That's a play for the Gladiators that cannot happen. Yep. Been beaten on it a couple of times.
Yeah, you got to have good active sticks in your own zone there.
Stingrays start from the back end off a clear. Lipin works his way in. Pounds the puck over to the near side half wall for Thomas. Nychuk there defending. South Carolina keeps down their sticks as Pinard lays it to the left point into open space. Reels it back in, top of the right circle. From the goal line, a shot by Thomas is blocked by Les. What a season he is having. So underrated. Pinard without a stick tries to kick it to the slot. Lads get in front of that as well. And clear the zone as we are back to full strength in Duluth. Atlanta goes 1-for-1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. There remains a 2-1 Stingray lead with 2:40 left in the first. Webb from the right point feeds it to the middle for Mayer. On the line, he tries to shoot. It's blocked by Nolan. Puck trickles over to the near corner. Stardina grabs it, plays upwards for Denemy. Sidestep is shut down. And on the right wing is Breen. He'll snap a shot on goal. Semptifelter the save, and the rebound is turned away as well. Hofer on the doorstep, couldn't pound it in. Shot by Webb. Into traffic, it's blocked. Gladiators get it up to the points, and the puck will stay in. Good keep by the Stingrays. They'll muscle it down behind the cage. Spinning is Breen. From low to high has Mayer at the left point. He's able to deliver it all the way around to the right corner for Locus. Reverse it over to the far end for Hofer. He finds Breen. Returned back to Hofer. From the left half wall, he scans the ice. Feeds it to the right corner. Cycle up high for a shot by Webb. Semptifelter snags it with 1:35 left in the first.
That's a big save for Semptifelter there. It wasn't the hardest save he's ever had to make, but it gives the Gladiators a whistle that they can get off the ice. That line got stuck out there for a couple minutes there in their own zone, but a good save by Semptifelter to freeze the puck, get a whistle, and get a change for his guys.
Face off on the near circle. Guzzo will take it against Alex Young. Young wins it for Atlanta. Tries to get it out of the zone with Cipollone, and they do. From center circle, grabbed by Krenzen. Blasted down where Semptifelter plays it. From behind the cage, he heaves it to Burns on the left wing. Finds Young in motion, but Lads are stymied on the zone entry. We have a delayed penalty here. Whistle is blown. And we'll see who they get.
It looks like it's going to be Cooley here for a high stick on Jarvis. Just tied him up in the neutral zone. Cooley's stick rides up a little high on Jarvis.
It's going to be a 4-minute double minor to Cooley. They check Jarvis out for any blood. Looks like there was. And so this is the Gladiators' big break, Andrew. 4 minutes on the power play. Feels like they have to find a way to do something with it.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for the Gladiators' power play here. You got 4 minutes. You got 1:12 left in this first period. See if you can strike before the end of this period. If not, you're going to have about 3 minutes at the start of the second period to get it going. So let's just try and strike early here at the end of this first period.
Face off to the left of Isley, who to this point has only seen 5 shots come his way. Meanwhile, for Semptifelter, much heavier workload. He stopped 12 of 14. Gladiators to the slot. It's broken up by Moore, and he will slide it out for a Stingray clear.
Yeah, Gladiators come out here with the second unit to start. Interesting to see what they can do here.
In comes Cipollone, drop past to Young. From the left point, he surveys and fires. It's Moore on the way to the net. Goes wide of the goal. Held in by Walter at the right point. Strong on the puck. Finds a man on the half wall. From low to high they go. Nychuk fakes a shot. Now tries to take it. Hits the leg of Locus. And boomerangs back to number 39. From the right point, Walter helps the puck on his way to Cipollone below the goal line. 30 seconds left in the period. Cipollone from the far corner. Volleys it from low to high. Walter there. Springs off the end wall. The rebound to Young, but couldn't slam it in. Broken up by the Stingrays, and they will clear. 15 seconds left in the period. Time running out on the Gladiators in period 1. Nychuk looks to find Francis, pass a bit behind. 6 seconds to go. They're swarmed at the line. The Stingrays will clear, and that will be the end of the first period. So Atlanta will open the second period of play with 2 minutes and 48 seconds of power play time to work with. as they will look to try and tie this game as South Carolina has a 2-1 lead through 20 minutes of play. Atlanta struck first with Anthony Furiolo's third goal of the year. South Carolina responded with a pair, first from Person, a second from Bolson, and the Stingrays lead after one. Atlanta this season, when trailing after one period of play, do have a perfect record at 2-0. The Stingrays, when leading after one, are 3-0 on the season. We'll see what gives here in today's game. We'll be back in a moment for the first intermission report with Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network from Gas South Arena.
Desserts are popping up on crumble more than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
All right, everyone, welcome back to your intermission report. I'm here with Andrew Fleming, and we're going to get into everything that happened in that first period. But first, let's check out our scores. You have your Atlanta Gladiators at 1 with 5 shots on goal, and the South Carolina Stingrays at 2 with 13 shots on goal. So let's break down that first period. We ended up getting that first goal, and I know Guy talked about how important that first goal is with the Stingrays, but unfortunately the Stingrays are in the lead right now, and they are out shooting us.
Yeah, that first goal for the Gladiators, I thought the Gladiators had a really good start in that first period. That goal was a good breakout out of their own zone. Isaac Walter grabs the puck, drives wide, uses his size and speed, drives around the defenseman, centers it, kicks off Louis Boudon, and it finds Anthony Furiolo crashing in from his point, wide open in the slot for a nice one-timer goal. It's a great setup for that first Gladiators goal, but as you said, the Gladiators fell behind, or not soon thereafter. Stingrays tied it up and eventually took the lead.
And did you want to talk about the Stingray goals? One of them was a wraparound goal.
Yeah, so their first goal there, it started with a great play by Rodzinski up at the point. Patience with the puck was really key there. He grabs the puck at the point. He doesn't just shoot it immediately because he had a guy in the lane. Rodzinski skates, turns, finds a lane using his feet, throws a shot on net. Septim Felter kicks out a rebound, and Pearson's there to bury it. Stingray's second goal had a lot of good opportunities in the offensive zone. You know, the Gladiators, they were kind of playing with fire there in their own zone for a little bit. Stingrays working it around, getting good opportunities, skating around the Gladiators getting caught with guys out there tired. Eventually, Stingrays attempt to wrap around, I believe was Person, and ends up on the stick of Bolson, and Bolson makes no mistake with a one-timer there to give the Stingrays a 2-1 lead.
What do you think the Gladiators need to do in this next period to get more shots on goal?
Well, I think it all starts with this power play here that they're going to start off with the second period. As we've talked about extensively, the Gladiators are struggling on the power play right now. They had an opportunity earlier in the first period, so that makes them now 0 for 12 in their last 5 games and counting. They got 2:48 here to start the second period on the power play. I'd like to see them try and capitalize on it here and tie this game up. I think it's gonna be huge. You know, if you want to be a winning team, you got to be able to score goals on the power play. So I'd love to see the Gladiators get on the board with this power play opportunity here early in the second period.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they were going to do something that first power play, but luckily they have another opportunity, and I'm waiting for them to score on the power play. I need that to happen soon.
Yeah, they're trying to mix things up on the power play here, as me and Guy talked about. They got Brendan Les quarterbacking that first unit, and they've dropped Chad Nychuk down to that second unit to be the quarterback. So it's not for a lack of trying. They're trying different combinations, trying to see something that'll stick to get this power play going. So hopefully they'll be able to strike here early in the second.
I have seen that we are still doing amazing with our defense because we had another penalty kill, and that was successful tonight so far.
Yeah, the Gladiators, we've talked about it all year. They're great on the penalty kill. I think they do a really good job of limiting zone entries. I talked about this extensively with Kai last night about the Gladiators' penalty kill. They do a really good job of standing up at the blue line and forcing teams to either not get a zone entry or dump it in where the Gladiators have a chance to grab possession and get it clear. And even when teams are able to set up in the Gladiator zone, the Gladiators do a really good job of keeping everything to the outside and not really allowing many high-danger chances from their opposition.
Is there anyone that you want to see score that power play goal?
McNamee had his first last night.
Yes.
McNamee's
Guy schooled me on everything Mike McNamee. I did not know that
very interesting guy.
Yeah, he stopped playing and then he did a music career and then he came back.
Yep. So it was really good to see Mike McNamee get on the board last night with his first goal of the season and his first professional goal in about 4 years. But I like what McNamee brings to a power play. McNamee, he's a big guy, veteran presence, and he's really good in front of the net. We see him in practice all the time. He's always working on tipping and getting tips in on net and even scoring on tips. So I think it'll be really important here. McNamee as a big net front presence, being out in front, getting shots from the point, him out front there screening the goaltender, trying to get a tip on the puck. I'd love to see McNamee come out here and score this power play goal to start.
All right. Well, we are going to go for a quick little commercial break, and we're going to come back and continue talking about what we would like to see in the second period, and maybe check in with that chat.
Yeah, let's do a chat check when we get back. Let's see what everyone's got to say in the chat. So, if you guys haven't, we're going to go to break. Get your comments, questions, concerns in the chat.
Tell us what you want to see next period.
Yeah. And we'll be back here in a minute.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Everyone, welcome back to your intermission report. Let's check out our score. We have the Atlanta Gladiators at 1 with 5 shots on goals, and the South Carolina Stingrays with 2 with 13 shots on goal. And we talked about checking out that chat.
Yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. Looks like we got Tracy in the building. What's up to Tracy? How you doing? We got Justin in the chat. Justin's keeping the chat lively. I love to see it, Justin. Keep getting in here with the chat. I love it. Christina says hi, everyone. Hello, Christina. Yeah, chat's buzzing. I love to see it.
Well, since we don't have any score predictions, let's talk about Ryan Appelt. It's his first professional game. What are we seeing from him? What do you want to see from him?
Yeah. Riley Appelt sliding in here on this fourth line for his first professional game. I really loved what I saw from him in the first period. He came out on his first shift and threw a huge hit in the corner. That's what you kind of need to see from the Gladiators, especially from a fourth line. Fourth lines, they're supposed to be a little bit chippy, a little more grinder-esque. So I love seeing Appelt getting in on the forecheck and throwing some big hits there in the corner. And I thought he even made some good plays with the puck, getting out of his zone, using his big frame to being able to advance the puck out of the zone for the Gladiators and able to get it into the attacking zone. So I thought Riley Appelt, for his first professional game, his first professional period, I thought he came out and really, he was very noticeable to me, and I thought he had a great first period, and I'd like to see him build on that in the second period and through the rest of this game so far.
All right. Anything else that you want to see from the team coming into this next period?
Yeah, as I touched on before, I think that this power play is going to be huge for the Gladiators. If they can strike here early on this power play, kind of change the tone and get going here in the second period, I'd love to see them strike on the power play. But also, I'd like to see the Gladiators get out of their zone a little bit cleaner. There have been a couple of instances where South Carolina's forecheck has forced the Gladiators into some issues in their own zone, and it's led to goals for the Stingrays so far. But I'd like to see the Gladiators not get pinned in their zones too much, be patient with the puck, make good passes up to their wing, into the center, and getting out of their zone a lot cleaner. And for Septemfelter, I think Septemfelter had a good first period, 11 saves on 13 shots.
A lot of pucks coming his way.
Yeah, and I thought that first goal, it was a tough rebound that he gave up. That came right out to Person for that one-timer right there in the slot. And it's a rebound that you don't want to give up as a goalie, but it's a tough save to make. It was a shot from the point, a seeing eye shot that he had to make the first save, and unfortunately Person was right there in the slot to pick up the rebound. The second goal, I put no fault on Septemfelter. The Gladiators, that line got caught out there for a little while. They're running around their zone a little bit. Puck comes, attempted wraparound. Septemfelter comes across to try and get it, and it just ends up right on the back door where Bolson was able to bury it. So for Septemfelter, I think he just needs to keep doing what he's been doing all year. Septemfelter's had a great start to start the season. So
I heard Guy talking about how he's been number one in the ECHL.
Yeah. Statistically, he is number one in the in the ECHL. So Septemfelter's been really good for the Gladiators, and for him, I just need him to keep status quo. He's been really good to start the year. Just have him keep doing what he's doing so far here today.
And then I wanted to note that you talked about it in the pregame about we're kind of opposite for power plays with Carolina. So the Gladiators are top in the penalty kill, bottom in power play.
Yes.
But Carolina is going to be top in power play, bottom in penalty kill.
Yeah. I touched on it in the pregame show. They're complete opposites on special teams. You know, when it comes to the Gladiators penalty kill going against the Stingrays power play, it's kind of like unstoppable force meets immovable object. But on the flip side, when you have the Gladiators power play versus the Stingrays penalty kill, it's kind of the opposite of that. It's movable force versus stoppable object. But I thought in the first period here, as always, the Gladiators on the kill, they're locked down. You know, the Gladiators penalty kill has been awesome so far to start the year, and you can't say enough good things about the penalty kill. And you know, your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. But even for the Gladiators, their goalies don't have to make a lot of big saves on the penalty kill because the Gladiators do just such a good job of denying zone entries, having good active sticks in the zone, and keeping everything to the outside of the dots. And when they have a chance to get it cleared, they get it. Now on the power play, it's the flip side. The Gladiators, as we touched on, they're having a tough start on the power play. Now 0 for 11 in their last 4 games on the power play. 0 for 12 counting the one that they did not score on in the first period. But on the power play, you know, they're trying some different combinations. I'd like to see the Gladiators try to get to inside ice more, force their way to the inside slot area, and try and get some more high danger opportunities, because what teams are doing to the Gladiators is exactly what the Gladiators penalty kill is doing to other teams. They're doing a good job of keeping the Gladiators to the outside and not allowing them to make their way into inside ice to get high danger opportunities.
I'm excited for them to come back. I'm hoping that they know that they have a power play coming back onto the ice here. They're going to come back very energetic, very passionate, and hopefully see a tied up score in that second period.
Yeah, that's exactly what you'd like to see. You'd like to see the Gladiators come out here. They got 2 minutes and 48 seconds of power play time to open this second period. They got a fresh sheet of ice, so shouldn't be any problems with the puck jumping or anything like that. They should be able to come out here, make some good passes on the power play, and hopefully tie this game up here on the power play to open the second period.
Definitely looking forward to that. And again, keep those comments going in that chat. We will check with you when we come back for second intermission, and hopefully we'll see some more scores on that board from both teams.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
We're back for the start of the second period between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. Atlanta struck first in frame number 1 from Anthony Furiolo. 3 minutes and 50 seconds in, but the Stingrays were able to attack in a pair to take the lead after 20 minutes of play. I'm Guy Chiarenza here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, and Gladiators do have a lengthy amount of time on the man advantage to start the second period of play. They will look to snap their power play drought and tie the game here. But one thing of note after one period of play is the shot count. South Carolina outshooting Atlanta 13-5. 5 shots on goal, not a figure that the Gladiators will be proud of. It is getting dangerously close to their season low for shots in a period. For the Gladiators, the fewest shots that they've had in a period this season is 4. And it did come in the last time South Carolina was here, the third period of the game on November 2nd. What was a 2-1 win for the Gladiators. Well, let's get one more shot than that figure. So they will look to be a little bit more productive here in the second period. And of course, a power play, an extended one at that, is a very good opportunity to do so. And you think about why that Gladiators are on the power play. It's because Stan Cooley got called for a high-sticking double minor towards the end of the first period, so that has Atlanta on the man advantage here to start the middle frame. Puck is dropped, and we are back for the second period. Atlanta begins it on the Eco-Electric power play. And they will look to tie the game. Ryan Francis angles it in. It'll go behind the net, chased after by Boudon. Sylvester got tripped up a bit. Glads keep a hand on the puck. At the left point is Les. 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, and that 1 defenseman is Les. McNamee from the far half wall delivers it down low. Sylvester to the right circle by one-timer. Francis is fought off by Isley. McNamee cycles up high. Francis, another bomb. This one is snagged by the catching glove of Isley. 35 seconds into the period. 2 really good looks for the Gladiators to start that power play. First unit will remain out there. In the first intermission, you heard Andrew and Shelby talk about what Mike McNamee has been able to do this season. It seems like he is really hitting his stride over the last few games. Had a big night yesterday against Greenville, 1 goal and 1 assist. Take the face-off there, but will lose it as Hofer scampers to the neutral zone, plays it across, short-handed for a shot that's stopped by the right toe of Semptimphelter. Excellent chance there for Dean Locus. Louis Boudon, between the legs drop pass, has Brendan Less at the left point. Floats it across to Sylvester. He tries to shoot, but it's blocked by Webb. Puck leaks down to the near corner. Stingrays try and hammer it out. An odd bounce off the wall gives him a little bit of help. And all the way back in his own end to retrieve it is Brendan Less. Less, the product of Quinnipiac. Spent some time at Dartmouth as well. Finds Walter through the neutral zone, going across to Young. On the left wing, tries to skate into the puck with 1:26 left on the power play, but gets stymied. Here come the Stingrays shorthanded again. Pinard takes a shot off iron and stays out. Gladiators catch another break. On the right wing, Cipolone charges on in, feeds it to the slot for a shot by Walter. That goes high and wide. Stingrays will clear. 1 minute left on the power play. Walter tries to sneak on into the attacking zone. He is rubbed off the puck by the Stingrays, and they will clear. 44 seconds left on the man advantage. Francis streaks into the attacking zone, gets cut off by Webb. He has a lot of room to roam. On the left wing, he shoots, and it's stopped by Semptimphelter. Webb with not a lot of speed there. Quickly saw Gladiators approaching him. Decided to let it fly on goal. And Semptimphelter made the easy stop. Francis from the left point feeds it across. Les to the right circle for a chance for Boudon. That is blocked by Webb. And Les fumbles it at the line, can't keep it alive. Delayed offside on the Gladiators. 10 seconds left on the power play. Stingrays send it down, and that will just about do it for this Atlanta power play. So they have a full 4 minutes to work with. And they can't get anything done with it. Scardina from the right circle has the puck on his stick, feathers it across for Sylvester, who flubs on a shot, and that is jolted out by the Stingrays. In comes Thomas, drops it off. Hofer shoots, blocked by Conroy. Gladiators will rainbow it out to the neutral zone. Mayer from the red line holds it and now rips it in. Puck will go around the boards to the right wing where it's met by Locus. Conroy steps in front of him. Locus gets it back for a shot that hits the side of the net. Rebound goes to Thomas at the left point. Steers it down behind the cage for Locus, who pries it to the high point where nobody is there. Nolan tips the puck the length of the ice, tried to beat out the icing, but did not. And so, it's an icing on Atlanta. 3 minutes and 36 seconds gone by in the second. Face off to the right of Semptimphelter. Nolan in the neutral zone. It's swatted away by Howardchuk. Puck will go to the end wall. Robelati gathers it there. Held in on the clearing attempt by Klimek. Gets it to the corner to Howardchuk again. Tries to throw it to the opposite side, but Conroy's there to meet it. Skies it through the neutral zone. Rolls wide right of Isley. No icing on the Gladiators. Stingrays maneuver out the center. Soft chip. They're on the move. Guzzo gets to the end wall. Chops the puck to the near corner for Howardchuk. Climbs up the wall. Tries to stash it down deeper. Good play by Nychuk to get in front of that. The Gladiators will twist it back to South Carolina ice. Howardchuk from the blue line on Glad's territory. Lifts it behind Semptimphelter. Possessed by Furiolo. Angled to a pelt. A boomerang back to the Army product, and so you'll find Nychuk and now Cipolone on the right wing. Cipolone fires wide. Puck held in by Furiolo. Tries to jam it back to Cipolone on the end wall. He is met there by Mayer. Puck leaks free to Person. Good steal by Appelt to keep the play alive. He'll head off for a line change. Nychuk pinching, keeps the play alive. Puck pinballs at the top of the near circle, and the Stingrays skate it free. Lipin's feed to the middle is boxed away by Jarvis. He'll chase it to the near corner. Puck will be jarred free, and Atlanta catapults the puck back out to center circle. 5:15 gone by in the second period. No goals scored here in period 2. Stingrays with a 2-1 lead. Nychuk from his own territory tries to feather it to the neutral zone. Denemy gets a touch on it, but the Stingrays almost rip it away. Puck is contested at center circle. McNamee took a spill, and now with it is Rodzinski. Lugs it in on the left side, drops it back for Bolson. Snapshot is blocked by Jarvis. The rebound onto the tape of McNamee. Skates it to the red line. Pelts it down to the end wall. Giving chase is Francis on the forecheck. Kupka able to gather it, meander through the neutral zone, chip it off the wall to himself in the far corner. Tries to spit it towards the slot, hits a skate and goes to the near corner. Boudon gets high-sticked, looking for a penalty, and he doesn't get it. They stay even. The board battle ensues on the near side half wall. Stingrays free it from that area. Wind it around behind Semptimphelter. Les, the New Jersey native, is there to meet it. Puck gets to the line and is held back in by the Stingrays. Sylvester finds Boudon. Across he goes to Les. He'll gain the red line. Tap it off the wall. Proceed to follow it. Working with Boudon. Power from those two is not enough. Stingrays slip it to the left wing. Gathered in by Locus. Defended by Nolan on the back check. Locus able to squirm away. Feeds it across for a one-timer. That is snagged by the glove of Semptimphelter. With 13:09 left in the second. South Carolina still has a 2-1 lead. 13:09 left in the second period. We are back in just a moment here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger.
Stingrays still have the lead at 2-1. They're outshooting the Gladiators 16-8 at this point in time as we approach the midway point of the game. Faceoff will be to the left of Semptimphelter. Stingrays win it. Quick shot wide of Semptimphelter. Went below his glove. Might have gotten a piece of it. Stingrays keep it in. Long chance from Mayer. Deflected wide by Semptimphelter's blocker. And now at the line again is Moore. Delayed penalty on the Gladiators. Isley to the bench. Atlanta tries to touch up, and they do.
It looks like it's going to be Ryan Conroy here for a slash over in that corner to the right of Semptimphelter.
Conroy is getting a two-man escort to the penalty box. So South Carolina will go back to the power play. It'll be their second of the day. With 12:49 left in the second period. So Atlanta back on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Are now on a run of 13 for 13 over the last 4 games in one period. They will look to add to that figure with another successful stop. Off the face-off, puck goes to the end wall. And around the horn it goes. Bernard on the right wing, drops it up top. Across they go to Lipin from the left circle, holds down to the goal line. Bangs it off the wall, back up top. More dancing to the left circle. spins away from the pressure and forced to the perimeter. Pinard from the right circle, clanks it up top. Kupka back to Pinard, takes a shot through the slot and wide of the goal mouth. Momentum carries the puck back down near Isley. It's a free clear for the Gladiators, and they will get a line change in. Quartet out there for the Gladiators right now. Cipolone, Denemy, Les, and Nychuk. And Les and Nychuk are both seen on the power play as well as the Stingrays ice the puck. So they do a little bit of double dipping. Les on the first unit on the power play, Nychuk on the second. And you see them both out there on the same unit on the penalty kill. Looks like faceoff will be to the left of Isley. Young will take the faceoff against Kupka. Kupka scored the lone goal. South Carolina's 1-0 win over the Gladiators last Friday. Atlanta sends the puck barreling down into South Carolina territory.
Yeah, smart play there by the Gladiators off that face-off in the Stingray zone. Win the face-off and just bring it back and get a clear.
55 seconds left on the penalty to Conroy as Semptimphelter shovels the puck out to neutral ice. Here is Moore trying to get things going on his own entry. Puck is catapulted to the near side. Gladiators get a hand on it. 2-on-2 up ice, short-handed. Young drop pass for Boudon. Nifty move to the slot, but ran out of real estate. Stays out there and tries to power the puck away from Moore. Has his stick held. No penalty called, though, but Boudon does shave off a good chunk of time. 22 seconds left on South Carolina's power play. Howardchuk races in on the right side. Waning moments of South Carolina's power play. From the right point, play it to the line. Rodzinski fires for a blocker save by Semptimphelter. Time expires on the power play. South Carolina still lurking, though. Puck to the slot. Howardchuk is there. Stick is lifted by Robolati, and the Gladiators force it to the outside. Puck is held in at the right point. Rodzinski over to the near corner. Pass was intended for Bream, but a bit off target. Howardchuk at the left point fires it into no man's land. Gladiators take it and move up ice. Burns pops it into the glove of Isley. He's not a gambling man. He's not going to play that puck. He's going to hang on and freeze with 10:26 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, another really good penalty kill there by the Gladiators. I feel like they did a little more attacking on that power play on that penalty kill than they did actually defending. A couple of good opportunities shorthanded for the Gladiators to kill off that penalty.
It's another job well done for this Gladiators penalty kill. They are now 2 for 2 on the day. Back to even strength, we'll see a face-off to the left of Isley. Hofer wins it for the Stingrays. Mayer tries to pelt it to the neutral zone on a stretch pass for Locus. Doesn't get there. Gladiators come barging back in. Puck jumbles over to the near corner. McNamee takes a hit from Webb that dislodges him from the puck. There's a steal from Furiolo to keep the play alive. On the left wing, Denemy chucks it across. At the right point, Les fires into traffic, and the Stingrays are somehow able to locate it. They pelt it the length of the ice. No icing as Guzzo beats it out. Well, nope, looks like they will call it, but that was a very late whistle. I don't think Guzzo could be too happy about that. He did have a step. And I think they're going to reverse that call. I think they're going to put this face-off somewhere in the Gladiator zone.
Just a quick whistle there. Semptimphelter was trying to play that puck and keep the play moving, but quick whistle.
And it was an odd-looking play. Face-off will be to the right of Semptimphelter. McNamee will take it against Kupka. Off the corner wall, Les has it. Face-off victory. Gladiators slide it through the neutral zone. All the way down, no icing there. Mayer over the red line, pops it to the far corner. He'll chase it himself. The defenseman coming all the way back from the back end. Gets caught up ice as Atlanta rumbles in. Shot from Walter is flung wide. Sylvester with the rebound, plays it up top to Conroy. He'll fire, stopped by Isley. The rebound is pushed back by Thomas to the netminder, and he will freeze with 9:21 left in the second. South Carolina still has the lead. It's 2-1 Stingrays, with all goals coming back in the first. 9:21 left in the second. We are back in a moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles menu. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Kids game.
9:21 left in the second period. First line out there for the Gladiators on the offensive zone faceoff. Dudon with Sylvester and Walter. Two D-men are Conroy and Nychuk. Stingrays able to wrestle away off the faceoff. Thomas quickly sprints up ice. Has a man on the right side. It's Bolson. Looks to center for Thomas. Great defensive play by Conroy. He'll skate it out of danger. From the red line. Waffles it down deep. He'll give chase as the Stingrays continue to move the puck. Cross-ice feed, fanned on. Would have been a dangerous play if they'd succeeded on that, but the Stingrays able to nudge it to the near corner. From low to high, shot by Klimek, blocked in front by Conroy. And so he goes again, threading it through the neutral zone. Sylvester on the right wing, pulls up and fires. It's a body in front, rebound to Walter, tried to sneak it in. Stingrays read that. Puck leaps out of play behind Isley with 8:40 left in the period.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of blocked shots by the Gladiators today. I think they've been doing a really good job, both defensemen and wingers, sticking close to their defensemen, blocking shots, not letting them get through to Semptimfelter.
The Gladiators, as a collective whole, have done a really nice job of blocking shots this season, but the three names that come to mind for me, Brian Conroy, who we saw in that last shift, Brendan Less is excellent at it, and Andrew Jarvis, great job as well. We'll throw Jack Robolatti in there as well, as he's done a nice job of being in the right place at the right time. And Robolatti's really good at lifting sticks, too. As you see him out there on the pairing with Jarvis. Off the face-off, a shot by Burns goes wide. Jarvis has it. Finds Cipollone behind the cage. Tried to stuff it to the slot. Stingrays box it out. Young behind the cage. Slings it up high. Long shot by Burns. Eaten up by Isley. 8:25 remains in period two. But Andrew, I like that shift. You win the face-off, cycle the puck around a bit, get a good couple of shots on goal. Good stuff there from the Gladiators.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good rotation between Burns, the left wing, and Jarvis, the left defenseman. Jarvis pinches down low. Burns takes his spot up high and gets a nice one-timer on net.
Face-off to the right of Isley, won by the Gladiators. Shot from Cipollone is blocked. Stingrays take it and quickly scurry up ice. Pinard reels it in from the far corner, taps it to the near side. Get it up top to Rodzinski. Top of the right circle. Pinard again fires. Low shot steered away by the stick of Semptimfelter. From the right point, they find Hofer down low. Robolatti, nice job of taking away from him. An extra Stingray is able to keep possession. Person from the right circle fires again. This time it's blocked in front of Semptimfelter. Rodzinski at the left point dances it across. Stingrays continue to rotate and fire shots. This one wide of Semptimfelter. Burns takes it into the neutral zone. Skating down the right side. Fires a low shot. Angled away by Isley. Rebound grasped by Cipollone, the Quinnipiac product and national champion. Able to kick it to McNamee on the far wall. He'll prod it to the line. Snapshot Furiolo. It's blocked. McNamee the rebound. Will go around the net. Fan on the pass from low to high. Uzo steps in, but McNamee will run back up and keep it. McNamee down low, centering feed, McNamee backdoor. He can't chop it in. Ronzinski was there to deny him. Francis to the left point. Furiolo, a drive. That's blocked by Webb. Good zone time for the Gladiators. Less from the line. Into traffic. Batted away by the glove of Isley. And the Stingrays will get a much-needed zone exit. Atlanta comes storming back in. McNamee pulls up. Drop pass to Francis. The Halifax native cycles the puck down low. McNamee behind the net. Looks. Has a man on the left circle. Francis across to the right point for Furiolo. Return feed. One-timer. Kicked away by Isley. Atlanta continuing to buzz. Nychuk off the bench has Francis in the near corner. Hard shift for Ryan Francis. Keeps the play alive. They'll battle for it on the near wing half wall. 3 Gladiators, 3 Stingrays are there. Puck leaks free to Scardina. Toe drag shot. Save is made. The rebound is snapped away by Isley. And on a similar play where we saw Bolson score, the Gladiators had a chance, and somehow Isley able to get across. And it remains a 2-1 Stingray lead with 6:08 left in the second.
What a great couple of back-to-back shifts there. The Gladiators with possession in the Stingray zone were able to change about 3 or 4 guys with possession. That's great to see if you're Coach Ginn trying to come back in this game. And now you got some tired Stingrays caught out there with your first line on the ice. Let's see if the Gladiators can attack here.
Think about the second period. Gladiators being to funnel players off the bench at will into the Stingray zone. At the line, Conroy fires. It's blocked in front by Webb. The Stingrays are able to slam it off the wall and out to Gladiator ice, and now they can get a partial change. About 4 out of 5. Walter on the right wing, rubbed off the puck by Mayer, fresh off the bench. Cooley with it for South Carolina. Tries to jolt it out. Sylvester able to keep, but not for long. Stingrays muscle it to the line. Boone tips it back in. Hofer going around the net, almost loses it to Sylvester. The draft pick of Washington somehow able to hang on. Cross-ice feed away from Cooley. Able to reel it in and put a shot on goal. Setterfelter the save, the rebound to Breen. He cycles from low to high. Mayer at the left point. Slows things down a bit. Hacks it off the end wall where it's angled to Boudon. 5:09 left in the second period. Gladiators in the middle of a line change. Dump the puck down. Isley out to play it. Breen, wing to wing. Pass behind Moore. So the neutral zone reconnects with Breen. Gains the attacking line. Plays it back to Locus. Sends it into a board battle on the near wing half wall. Puck is popped. Now to the end wall where Jarvis is there to retrieve. Beats out Kupka to the puck. And slams it off the wall through the neutral zone, and that will be good enough for an icing on the Gladiators with 4:34 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, a lot of good back and forth action here between both these teams here today, Guy. We saw the Gladiators string together a couple of good shifts, and now we're seeing the Stingrays do the same with a couple of good shifts attacking in the Gladiator zone here.
Usually a good indicator of good offense production in the game is the shot count. Atlanta outshooting South Carolina 11-7 in the third period, or excuse me, in the second period. Not quite to the third yet. Puck is iced by Atlanta again with 4:25 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, it's a tough taking. It's a tough icing to take there for Obalati. He's got possession, skating up, and he just flips it all the way down the ice for an icing. You'd like to see him trying to make a play to a teammate there for possession so that they can attack, but Gladiators get caught face off in their own zone here.
Lions win the D zone draw. Jarvis from the far corner tries to slip it out. Stingrays keep it in. They'll volley it over to the near corner. Will go behind the cage. Atlanta cuts it off. Springs over to the opposite side. Appelt will give chase. Bounces Krenzen away from the puck. Clearing attempt held in by South Carolina. Klimek a shot. Saved by Septemfelter. Klimek with the rebound. Riding up the near side wall. Flings it to the goal line. Hits the stick of Jarvis. Goes up into the air. Simmers down behind the cage. They'll spar for it there. Out of the pileup comes Nolan. He's with the SPHL last season with Fayetteville. Spent some time with Adirondack. Had a goal last night. Had to play it upwards. Gladiators in the middle of a line change. See the puck bumble ahead. Almost got caught for too many men there, but they are smart about it. Shot by Young. Steered away by Isley. At the left point, Robilotti keeps it in. Drop pass. Young has got it. Can't get a shot away. Good back check from Locus. And the Stingrays are going to change themselves. 3:06 left in the second period. In comes Cipollone from the right circle. Fires. And that is absorbed by Isley with 3:02 left in period 2. We're back in one moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Stingrays lead it 2-1 when we come back.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh.
Here at Gas South Arena, Stingrays clinging to a 2-1 lead. 3:02 left in the second period. Atlanta done a nice job of putting on pressure here in the second period, but have not been rewarded with a goal. And this is kind of a similar theme to what we saw in the last game between these two. First period, a little bit on the weaker side for the Gladiators. But a strong second period, but they just can't find a way to get the goal they need. Hoping for a different story here in the later stages of this game. Stingrays cycle it in. Howard Chuck from the near corner. Met by Furiolo. Banging off the wall to the right point for Webb. Returned to Howard Chuck below the goal line. On his forehand, tries to beat out Furiolo, but a nice job from the Army product. Able to tip it towards the corner. And right back to work. Furiolo wraps up Howard Chuck, and that will be a call on the Gladiators. And when they touch up, they will head back the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. And that moment is now. It is a holding call on Furiolo. And with 2:19 left in the second period, the Stingrays go to their third power play of the day.
Yeah, it's a tough play for Furiolo. Battling in the corner, just uses that free hand, holds his man up a little bit. Referees see it. Gladiators can be short here for just about the rest of this second period.
And it was a really nice job by Furiolo on that play defensively. But once he felt like he was kind of getting beat there, that's when the hold occurred. And so give credit to Howard Chuck for staying with that play. Draws the penalty for South Carolina. And back out there come the Gladiators penalty kill units. So the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill back in action. Atlanta's 2 for 2 so far today. They look to make it 3 for 3 and keep this a 1-goal game heading into the third. At the line, Moore has it, drifting towards his right. Hits it to the half wall. Stingrays return to Moore at the right point, throw it across to the left. Kupka back to Moore. His shot blocked by Cipollone. The rebound overskated by Kupka, diving. Keeps it in the zone. Cross-ice feed, a shot by Bernard. Goes high and wide. Stingrays get lucky. Cooley at the line. Right to the right circle. Bernard to Thomas in deep. He is met by Conroy. South Carolina able to keep the puck. From low to high they go. Moore to Kupka. High slot, down low. Shot goes wide of Semptenfelter. They keep it in at the line. Moore drifting towards his right. Finds Bernard at the half wall. They'll cycle it to the left side. Thomas holds. Pass down low. Blocked nicely by Nychuk. Got down on one knee to make the play. Atlanta able to get a piece of the puck and clear.
It was a great effort by Kupka in the Gladiator zone, diving to swat that puck to his man in the slot. for a good opportunity, but just missed the net wide.
48 seconds left on South Carolina's power play. Howard Schuck on the right wing. Steadily makes his way to the goal line. It rotated over to the left point, under a minute left in the period. And the cross-ice feed hits a stick and goes over the South Carolina bench into about the third or fourth row.
Great stick by Boudon there to break up that D-to-D pass and keep this kill going for the Gladiators. Got about 36 seconds left here. Got to kill it off.
Boudon with assist today on Furiolo's goal that opened the scoring. We know him a lot for his scoring prowess. Now with that assist, Boudon up to 10 points on the campaign. But he does do a lot of really nice things away from the puck, especially, like you said, with an active stick. Also, as we've seen, short-handed from time to time. Boudon with 3 short-handed assists this year. He's one of the league leaders in that category. He's third in short-handed points with 3. And in a game like this, the Gladiators could certainly use one of those patented short-handed goals. Only the Toledo Walleye have more than Atlanta does this season. Gladiators with 5 shorties on the season. One of those coming against South Carolina in the first meeting in this building. Carson Denemy scored that goal. For now, the personnel is Young, Jarvis, Les, and of course the Frenchman Louis Boudon. Stingrays win the face-off. Mayer at the line. Brushes it towards his left for Breen. Slither down the wall. Return it up top to Mayer. Across he goes. They'll hold and shoot. Low shot. Angled away by Semptenfelter. Held in atop by Mayer. Has a man on the right circle. Bolson off the skate for Breen. And here's a chance for Atlanta shorthanded. Cross-ice feed just behind Young. Stingray's got a stick on it. Mayer able to poke it away. Boudon on the forecheck. Continues to put pressure on. Drains time out the clock. It's another successful Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Lads are back to full strength. 13 seconds left in the period. It remains a 2-1 game. Breen across. Berdina gets a piece of it. 5 seconds to go in the period. Stingrays maybe with one last chance, but time will run out on the second period. South Carolina remains ahead 2-1 through 2 periods of play. Shot count reached 21-18 in favor of South Carolina. Atlanta doing a much better job of getting some shots on goal to Isley. They outshoot South Carolina 13-8 in the middle frame. Coming up next year on the Gladiators Broadcast Network is the second intermission show. We'll be joined by Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau. They'll tell us all about what happened here in the first 2 periods from Gas South Arena, what the Gladiators need to do in the third to pull ahead and win this game. We'll also have them do a chat check as well. So for all of you on the YouTube side, comment your thoughts on today's game. What are you doing here on a Sunday afternoon as we approach Sunday evening at 4:37 local time? Tell us all about it on the other side of the break. It's South Carolina 2, Atlanta 1. We're back in a moment with a second intermission report.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu.
All types of dessert.
More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Everyone, welcome back to our second intermission report. I'm here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to talk about everything that happened in our first 2 periods, but first let's check in with our score. The Atlanta Gladiators have won with 18 shots on goal, and the South Carolina Stingrays have 2 goals with 21 shots on goal. So let's break down that second period. It was a different pace than the first period. We had a lot of good looks for the Gladiators, a lot of chances versus what we had in the first period. We started off with that. We started off with the power play. Walter has a chance there, but again, unsuccessful for the Gladiators.
Yeah, I thought that Gladiators power play to start the second period, though they weren't able to capitalize on it, I saw a lot of good things from the Gladiators on that power play.
I definitely think it was a lot better than what we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, I thought the Gladiators on that power play, they did a good job of gaining possession and getting good looks on net. Francis had a couple one-timers on net. So I thought the Gladiators power play at the start of that second period did a really good job. And if they get another opportunity here in the third, I'd like to see them strike on it.
And unfortunately, during that power play for the Gladiators, there was a couple chances for South Carolina to score shorthanded there. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I do think there was a lot of good looks for the Gladiators for that power play.
Yeah, and I thought even on the Gladiators penalty kill, they had a couple of chances to score. So what I will say about this second period, it was a lot more back and forth action. Gladiators had a couple of good minutes of possession in the Stingray zone, then the Stingrays would come back, have a couple of good minutes of possession in the Gladiator zone. So a lot of good back and forth action here in that second period, but obviously no one able to break through as we're still at a 2-1 score as we had at the end of the first period.
Yeah, the Gladiators were putting a lot more pucks on that net versus how they did in the first period there.
Yeah, Gladiators out shooting the Stingrays 13-8 in that second period. It's a good trend that we'd like to see continue here in the third. If you're able to generate more shots on goal, you obviously have more chances to score, and it's just a good indicator of how well the Gladiators offense is performing here today, though down 1.
How are you feeling about this third period? What do you expect? What do you want to see?
You know, I'd like to see the Gladiators continue to get in good on the forecheck. I've liked what I've seen from the Gladiators on the forecheck. They had a couple of good shifts there where they were able to take care, where they were able to get some good opportunities based on their forecheck. They were able to get on the South Carolina defensemen, force some turnovers, and able to get some good looks on net. So let's go back and do a little bit of a game recap here. So in our first period, we had Anthony Furiolo opening up the scoring. And I got all this here on the Gladiators app, which is a great app. And if you are a fan of the Gladiators, you should download because it keeps you all up to date. Here you see I got my box score. Shows you the scoring, shows you the penalty minutes, shows you the goaltending, shots on goal, saves, even shows you the referees. So,
amazing
go download
stuff.
the Gladiators app. So, in the first period here, Anthony Furiolo opens up the scoring. Play develops. Isaac Walter driving wide to the right around his defenseman, using his body and speed. Able to center the puck. It kicks off Louis Baudon's skate right to Anthony Furiolo in the slot, and he makes no mistake with a one-timer, going low glove on Isley. Then, a couple minutes later, South Carolina comes right back. It's Romain Rodzinski's dancing around at the point a little bit with the puck, using his good edges, which we've seen here today. I've been very impressed with Rodzinski, the way he skates. Using his good edge work, giving himself a shot lane, putting a puck on net. Septemfelter just kicks out the rebound right to Ludwig Persson, and Persson makes no mistake with a one-timer off the rebound, going high glove on Septemfelter. We had a 1-1 game. Then, again, South Carolina with a really good shift in the Gladiators' defensive zone. They had the Gladiators all over the place. South Carolina using their good skating legs, getting some good cycles, just tiring out the Gladiators defenders. Even had a couple of good opportunities there to score. It was Kupka coming around the net, looking for a wraparound goal there. It comes around to Bolson. Bolson buries it, and the Stingrays took a 2-1 lead into the first intermission, and they still hold that lead here as we are into our second intermission.
And you can find out all that information and more on that good old Gladiators app.
Yes, you can.
It's very, very a good tool when there's so many parts happening here. up in our lovely catwalk area.
Yeah, it is a great tool for me to just focus on, you know? There's a lot going
There's
on.
a lot
A lot
happening.
going out there on the ice, and it's very up to date. So as soon as someone scores, a couple minutes later, they got you with the who scored, who had the assists. So it's a great tool for me and Guy to use right live on the broadcast that we can know who scores from who. So yeah, it's a very great goal.
And you have some time to download that as we take a really quick break, and we'll come back and talk more about our first and second periods and what we want to see in the third.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
All right, everyone, welcome back to your intermission report. We're in our second intermission of the night, going into our third period. Let's check out those scores. The Atlanta Gladiators with 1 goal and 18 shots on goal. The South Carolina Stingrays with 2 goals and 21 shots on goal. We saw a lot more action for the Gladiators that period. It's looking good. Are you excited for that third period?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought the Gladiators, they came out really strong in the first period, and then they kind of teetered off. South Carolina came back, scored those 2 goals. But I really liked what the Gladiators actually did in that second period. I thought they gained some good momentum from that power play. And obviously, as Guy said at the end of the period, they outshot South Carolina in that second period, which is a good trend for the Gladiators going forward into this third period, which I'd like to see them obviously come out here, score a couple, get this win. So let's do a standings check here.
Ooh,
See where the Gladiators are in their division. So, as we know, the Gladiators are in the South Division of the ECHL. In first place in the South Division right now are the Florida Everblades, who in 15 games played are 9 wins, 5 losses, and 1 shootout loss for 19 points. Second place here, who we have here today, the South Carolina Stingrays, who are 9-5-0 with 18 points. Our Gladiators, 9-3-0 with 18 points. Below them, the Jacksonville Icemen in 4th place in the
Can
division.
I stop you quick? So you're saying whoever wins this game is going to be second place?
Whoever wins this game today will actually be in first place in the division.
Okay,
Yep.
wow, a
As
very
we know,
important game.
Yep. You get 2 points for a win, 1 point for a overtime or shootout loss, and 0 points for a regular loss in regulation. So, in 4th place in the division, the Jacksonville Icemen, who are 8-6-0 in 14 games played for 16 points. The Savannah Ghost Pirates, who we've seen here a couple of times so far this season, in 12 games played, they are 6 wins, 3 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss for 15 points. The Greenville Swamp Rabbits, who we saw here last night.
Which we'll be seeing again.
Yes, we will be. We will be seeing them again very soon and a lot over this season. In 14 games played, the Swamp Rabbits, 7 wins, 7 losses for 14 points. And in last place in the division, the Orlando Solar Bears. We're having a tough start to the season. 12 games played, 1 win, 11 losses for 2 points. So, this game here today, very important for the Gladiators in 3rd place in this South Division they have 2 games in hand on the Stingrays and 3 games in hand on the Everblades. So we will see here today, whoever wins this game, first place in the South Division, which will be very nice for the Gladiators, who I think they've had a really good start to the season here. 9-3-0 is a really good record.
Yes.
So in this third period, love to see the Gladiators come out here and get this W, you know?
Maybe Coach is back there right now giving them a prep talk in the locker room all about that very important statistic.
Yeah. Coach Ginn's in there saying, hey, fellas, come on. We have a chance to be first in our division here with
Don't
a win
you want
today.
That?
You gotta want it. You know, it's a Sunday game. I know it's a quick turnaround for the guys. 7 o'clock start last night, 3 p.m. start here today. It's a quick turnaround for the guys. But, you know, you're at the end of the weekend. You got a couple days off, obviously. Next game on Wednesday night. You got a couple days off here. You got to empty the tank here in the third period. Go out and try at least force this game to overtime to at least get yourself a point. If not, come out here, score a couple in the third, and get this win.
If they score a point in overtime, which team will take the lead?
So, it's interesting. So you get 2 points for the win. So say scenario, hypothetical. We go to overtime here today. The Gladiators win in overtime. So the Gladiators would get 2 points, which would bring them to 20. South Carolina would get 1 point, which would bring them to 19. The Gladiators would move into first in the division, and Stingrays would be tied with the Florida Everblades for second in the division.
All right, and vice versa.
Yes, obviously vice versa as well.
All right. Well, very important game, and honestly, I liked the energy that I saw in the second period. We had a lot more action back and forth on the ice and a lot more opportunities for the Gladiators, and I'm hoping to see that moving forward in this third period.
Yeah, and again, we didn't touch on it much during the intermission, but the Gladiators' penalty kill once again came up huge in that second period, as they have all season long. That last penalty kill there, even Boudon had a couple good chances to try and score shorthanded. I love what I'm seeing from this Gladiators penalty kill. When they're not defending, they're attacking on the penalty kill, which you'll love to see. Which, on the penalty kill, if you can have possession and kill some time, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to attack. And when you have the opportunities, obviously you're a man down, so you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to attack. But when you can, the Gladiators are taking advantage of the opportunities they're seeing. Even on the penalty kill, as Guy touched on, the Gladiators have scored more shorthanded goals than they've given up, which is just an insane stat to hear, as the Gladiators have scored a number of shorthanded goals on the season.
Yes.
So we'd like to come out here and get this win here in the third period.
Yeah, and you mentioned Boudon. I saw that little move he brought out during trying to get a breakaway chance on that.
Yeah, it was a great move by Boudon. Skating backwards, slips it through the defender's skates. Just couldn't complete it on the other side. But I really like what I saw from the Gladiators in that second period.
Any predictions on who you, or let's see, let me ask, who you want to score?
You know what? I'll take anybody. But,
anyone.
You know, I'd like to see Ryan Francis.
Okay.
Get on the board here.
I remember you talking about him. He's very patient with the puck when we talked in other intermissions.
Francis has been a great player for the Gladiators so far this year. On a little bit of a cold streak points-wise. But Francis, he manipulates time and space very well. He takes his time, assesses what he's seeing out there, and is very manipulative with the puck. I'd like to see Ryan Francis out here come get that at least tying goal, if not a winner.
All right, well, let's see what we got cooking in this third period. We'll be right back.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena for the start of a very exciting third period. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Cooper Youngman joining me on the call. Cooper, should be a really fun third period here. We were looking over the numbers before. We think that a Gladiator comeback might be in the works.
Yeah, once we're down by 1, we just let the flow go. I think it should be a good game. We just got to put 1 in the net, and I think we should be fine.
Before we get to the start of the period with the Stingrays lead 2-1, let's tell us a little bit about yourself because you are a player yourself.
I am.
Tell me all about it, man.
So I play hockey. I've been playing for 14 years. 14, yeah. Or 13. I play for Farmington High School up in Utah. Just coming to visit for my dad. Currently decided later for 10 to go play college hockey.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm registered for the fall. So I'll be playing up there, but just came to visit my dad, get a few games in for Thanksgiving break.
We're happy to have you here, happy to have you on the call.
I'm happy to be here too.
We have got a good third period ahead of us. So, no goals scored since the first period. Scoreless second, Stingrays still lead 2-1. Atlanta scored first with Anthony Furiolo's third goal of the year. He now has a goal and an assist in his last 2 games. South Carolina scored a pair before the end of the first period from Person and Bolson to take the 2-1 lead. Atlanta here in the third period will tie the game and try and win it in regulation. And as we alluded to before, the numbers are in the Gladiators' favor. Atlanta's best scoring period this year has been the third period. It is their best period of goal differential as well, outscoring their opponents 14-7. Gladiators were able to hold Greenville off the board in the third period last night, as Atlanta did score 2 goals itself to win yesterday's game. Today's game, a little bit of a different story, but one thing is for certain, Atlanta needs at least 1 to tie. Face-off is won by the Gladiators to start the third period. They will wind it in. Giving chase is Boudon. First line out there to start the period. Sylvester leaves it for Conroy. From the near wing half wall, Rodzinski will spin away. He'll chuck it to the far wall, and the Stingrays will poke it out to center. Conroy will handle, deal it off the wall to Nychuk. Will scoop it up and send it in and get off for a line change. Boudon behind the net from skate to stick. Can't quite dangle in front. 2 Stingrays were there. And we'll get it out to center. On the right side, Thomas tries to feed it to the slot. A backhand try is fought off by the glove of Semptimphelter on Bolson. Just spinning, got a piece of it. Semptimphelter will catch just enough of the puck. Stingrays wire it back in. Puck will go around the boards to the far wall to Young. He's squashed off of it. Lipin tried to serve it to the middle. But Young got back in front of it, skates it out to center and turns it over. Lipin on the right wing this time. Todrak's shot deflection in front of Semptimphelter. He's able to kick it away. Now Cipolone nudges the puck to the right corner for Burns. Gets it back on the half wall. Swinging around the wall to the near side for Jarvis. Back around we go to Burns. He is shoved by Krenzen. Gonna rub him off the puck. Cipolone can't keep it alive at the line. Stingrays move up on a 2-on-3. Lipin takes a crunch from Robillati. The New York native gets a good piece of him. Stingrays able to fight to keep the puck at the line, but good work from Alex Young. We'll get it out to neutral ice. Stingrays, but they're doing a good job of puck possession here to start the third period. Gladiators outshot the Stingrays in the middle frame. Shot can reach 22-18 right now in favor of South Carolina. At the left point, Mayer deals it around down low to Guzzo at the end wall. He is met by Jarvis. Cooley jabbing at the puck there for South Carolina. Puck springs free to the near boards. Now floated across the line. Mayer with space, fires, and Semptimphelter's got it. 2:14 into the third. Cooper, the Stingrays doing a really nice job of puck possessing to start the third. Gladiators just need something to go their way. Maybe a steal or a turnover.
It starts with one bounce. You gotta, just one bounce towards you, it changes the whole game. We just gotta keep putting pressure on them. We just gotta clean up the turnovers. We've been seeing they've been passing right to the other team. We just gotta clean up the turnovers, get a little bounce our way and go in.
Face off to the right of Semptimphelter. To this point, he has stopped 21 of 23. Atlanta wins the D-zone face-off. Conroy scurries along the left wing. Able to stash it into Stingray ice, but did not gain the red line. It's an icing on Atlanta, so back down we go near Septemfelter. You talk about being smart with the puck. I also think face-offs. It's always a great way to get possession. Atlanta won the D-zone face-off there. We'll see if they can do it again. Mike McNamee will take this face-off against Hofer. McNamee does win it. Atlanta with possession again. Denemy on the left wing. Chops it up to the neutral zone away from Francis. This time no icing as Mayer collects. Mayer on the far wall. Slides it to the neutral zone. Cross-ice feed. It's a race to the wall. Francis gets in front of it. Tried to gain the zone. Stingrays quickly cut him off and scamper to the neutral zone. Stingrays pop it into the glove of Septemfelter. He will glove it down and leave it for Conroy. 16:54 left in the third. On the right wing comes Thomas. Gains the circle and fires a shot wide on the near side of Septemfelter. Here is Nolan now with the rebound. Gains the zone, whacks it to the end wall. The rebound is overskated by Scardina. Appelt was there to keep it in the zone, but Stingrays are able to fling it out. Foot race to the near corner of the Gladiators zone. Les has got it for Atlanta. Nolan on the left wing pulls up from the circle, holds and shoots. Score! Ryan Nolan ties the game at 2. Goals in back-to-back games for Nolan. That's a brand new game. Nolan had the game-winning goal last night, Cooper. You were in attendance for that one. He's got another big one here today. What'd you see on that play?
It all leads to the forecheck. We got there first. He had his head up. There's no one there. Decided to take a shot. Sneaks by the goalie. It was just that forecheck starting it.
So we're all tied up at 2. Ryan Nolan has got goal number 4 on the year. He's got goals in back-to-back games. Yesterday's was the game winner. This one might be just as big. It has tied the game at 2. Puck deep in the Gladiators' end. Person, who has a goal today, scoops it up, sends it to the end wall. Centering feed for a one-timer is stopped by Septemfelter. The wraparound chance from Pinard goes through the slot. Stingrays buzzing here, trying to get that one back. Pinard from the near corner. Backhands it. Back behind Septemfelter. Person is there. Wanted Lipin, but he blew a tire. Gladiators get a piece of it, twisted out of the zone. Walter rumbling through the neutral zone. Tries to dangle towards the net, but couldn't quite finish. He will head off for a line change after losing the puck. Just announced the goal in-house. Fans cheer in approval. Brand new game thanks to Nolan's 4th goal of the year. Nychuk finds Conroy at his own blue line. He'll leave it for Young. Gains the attacking line. Wheels it around to the right wing for Burns. At the end wall, Cipollone grabs it. Return to Burns. From the half wall, he'll shoot. It's blocked. Cooley tried to charge upwards, but back there defensively was Nychuk. They will send a long pass to Cooley on the end wall. He'll center. Pinballs off a few legs to the near wall. Guzzo quickly across. Mayer will hold and shoot. Septemfelter makes the save on a low shot. With it now is Howardchuk for South Carolina. Finds Cooley in the near corner. Defended by Nychuk. He hangs on. Cooley to the line. Splits the D. And all the way back down, and Atlanta is able to make a wholesale line change. Nolan's goal is assisted by Scardina and Brendan Less. So Scardina has his 2nd professional point, his 1st since opening night, and Brendan Less has his 1st point of the year and his 1st as a Gladiator. So Atlanta's depth showing up there. 14:01 left in the third period. As the Stingrays are offside.
College Night is taking over the Coliseum
Cooper, what a response there for the Gladiators. It was a bit of a slow start to the period for Atlanta. You kind of mentioned that they needed to just have something go their way, maybe a bounce. They got it. Ryan Nolan reels his way into the zone, puts a shot on goal, ends up beating Isley. It's a brand new game. A lot to really like on that shift for the Gladiators.
Yeah, I like that. That forecheck was beauty. We just got to make sure to keep the pressure on.
Face off to the right of Semptenfelter. Cipollone will take it. And the Stingrays are headed to the power play. Anthony Furiolo in the box. So South Carolina on the man advantage will look to retake their lead. Stingrays win the draw. Long shot. Deflected off the crossbar and stayed out. Oh my goodness, that was close. Pinard, right circle shot off the shoulder of Semptenfelter. Battle for it at the line. Denemy rips it away. A chance short-handed. Denemy left circle fires wide of the net. Lipin comes dangling in. Stingrays are offside. 32 seconds gone off the penalty to Furiolo, but oh boy, did the Gladiators catch a break. The Stingrays put it on goal, got tipped on its way, ends up hitting the crossbar, going bar down. It plops on the goal line and stays out. Well, think about that one. The Gladiators are able to win this game. Fourth time on the penalty kill today. Hooking is the call on Furiolo. That is the reason he is in the box. Faceoff comes out to the neutral zone. Because the Stingrays were offside. Penalty killers right now for Atlanta: Boudon, Young, Robilotti, and Conroy. Cooper, this penalty kill for the Gladiators has been sensational all season long.
Yeah, I really like it because we just keep our box, fold. Just perfect positions to stop them.
And they know when to be aggressive, too, as we saw in that last play from Denemy. Keep in mind, last time these two teams got together, Denemy did have a shorthanded goal. As Howard Chuck from the right point steers it down low to Bolson. They work it up top. Breen tries to scoot it from low to high. It's picked off by Boudon. He'll find Young. He gets tripped. That draws a penalty. And to 4-on-4 action we go. We'll skate four aside for 1 minute and 1 second. 13:01 left in the third period. Ryan Nolan has tied the game at 2. When we return on the Atlanta Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Desserts are popping up on crumbled mangoes. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Two score. 4-on-4 action we go. Howard gets called for tripping. Alex Young drew the penalty. Skate four aside for the next minute. Some open ice here. Kupka slings it across. Mayer with it for South Carolina. And there is Louis Boudon on the forecheck. He is so good in moments like this. Moore enters on the right wing. From the wall, tried to spring it to the middle of the ice. Boudon there to pick it off. He just reads it so well. Skates out of his own zone. Looks up ice. Gains the attacking line. Finds a man in front. Les dangles. And he can't put the cherry on top. Isley makes the save. Now it's a breakaway for Kupka. One-on-one. Kupka will hit the crossbar, and the rebound is put in by Pinard. So Kupka tries to go upstairs, hits the crossbar. Septenfelter's already down. Pinard has the rebound, and South Carolina retakes the lead. What an odd-looking play. Kupka did the heavy lifting. He came in, fired the shot off the crossbar, the rebound to Pinard. Septenfelter's down, and he was able to put it into a pretty empty net. So Stingrays lead at 3-2. Young in on the left side, and Atlanta with more work to do.
And we've got a goal by South Carolina. Number 47,
Nychuk from the red line, still skating in the left wing. Nychuk to the right circle. Denemy corrals it.
And the Gladiators are back to full strength.
We now skate 5-on-4. Gladiators on the power play. Walter on the right wing tries to barrel in. He gets met at the line, and Atlanta has to start from their own end. Nychuk over the red line, brushes it towards his left. Young looking, plays it to the left point for Francis. Across he goes, one-timer, stopped by Isley, and the rebound can't be put in. It is Boudon who took the shot. South Carolina flings it away from him, and the man advantage will expire. So it's Pinard from Kupka and Mayer that gave South Carolina the lead at 4-on-4. Howardchuk feeds it to the slot. One-timer is kicked away by Septenfelter. It was Locust who took the drive. Here comes Sylvester on the right wing. The captain forced to the outside. Met at the wall by Mayer. Less point-to-point for Furiolo. Feeds it to the middle, takes it back in, scampers down the wall and fires. His shot is snatched away by Rodzinski, and the Stingrays move up ice. Furiolo loses an edge, lays it back to safety to Les. They find Scardina, who gets caught up on the far wall. Puck jumbles to the Stingrays, and Scardina races to get it back. Good back check there from Scardina. A pout in the neutral zone. On the right wing, bangs it to the end wall. Isley out to play it. Mayer off the wall to the line, held in by Conroy. His shot almost gets deflected in front, but Isley's able to see it. He grabs it away from a pout with the glove, and to the timeout we go. Stingrays lead at 3-2 with 9:52 left in the third. You're back in one moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh for
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Guy Chiarenza alongside Cooper Youngman. Gladiators tied the game earlier in the period thanks to Ryan Nolan, but an odd play that led to a goal from Simon Pinard has given South Carolina the lead again. Cooper, I'm really interested to see what the Gladiators do on this shift here to try and tie the game.
Yeah, we got to see if we respond with that bad bounce on that goal.
In the neutral zone, Pinard able to reel it in, gets to the right circle and rips a backhand shot on Septemfelter. The product of North Dakota State able to wrap that one up and freeze. Septemfelter spent the last year at the University of North Dakota. Had a really good year there. Played one game with the Bridgeport Islanders in the AHL. Signed by Milwaukee. Assigned to Atlanta earlier in the year. Nychuk from the end wall. Possesses for Atlanta. Tries to rip it out in the zone. Hits the shoulder of Pinard. They spar for it at the half wall. Burns on the near wing able to leak it out of the zone. Nychuk. Meandering through the neutral zone. Dangles to the net front. Puck rolls in on Isley and he will freeze. 9:08 left in the third. Stingrays lead 3-2. In a game like this, Gladiators need a goal. Cooper, who do you think the Gladiators turn to here that can get them that tying goal? We saw Nolan do it earlier.
I think it'll be Jarvis. Jarvis has been all over this ice today. I think he has one in him. We just got to get the puck on net, crash the net, get the rebounds.
Talked about it a little bit before in the broadcast. Gladiators this week during practice did a lot of working on tip-in practice drills, being more of a net front presence. We'll see if that plays a factor here as the game goes on and they look to tie. From the red line, puck is gloved down by Webb. Stingrays weasel their way to the near corner. Nychuk meets the puck for Atlanta. Almost gets caught up in the skates of the referee, Sharon. From the high slot, Young able to swat it out of danger to Cipollone on the right wing. He'll float it to the near corner, and it goes down as an icing on Atlanta, so Cipollone forced to come back out onto the ice, as is Alex Young. A little bit of a tired group here for the Gladiators. Stingrays get a change in. When you're a player yourself, how impactful is a play like that where you got to stay out on an extended shift because of an icing?
You just got to make sure you get across the red line, just dump it, get a change, make sure you get fresh legs out.
Starts with the face-off victory. South Carolina are the victors there, though. At the line, Howard Chuck tries to brush it over to Cooley. Gladiators get a leg in front of it. Puck escapes the zone. They'll wire it back down to Septemfelter, who leaves it for Conroy. Conroy tries to sidestep away. Pressure put on him by Guzzo. Somehow able to escape and get it to the line where a shot goes into the belly of Septemfelter, and he will cover again. 8:08 left in the third. But now, because there is no icing, the Gladiators are able to get a wholesale change in. So on comes the line of McNamee, Francis, and Denemy. The two blue liners are Jarvis and Nychuk. Face off on the near circle. Tied up off the draw is McNamee. Puck will trickle to the near corner. Will be swerved around to the left point. Hofer there for South Carolina. Leaves it for Breen. Climbing up the wall. Plays it to the point. Across he goes to Moore. Moore will hold and shoot. Into traffic it goes. Gladiators cluster up and exit the zone. Francis bangs it off the wall and chases it himself. He's met up at the half wall. Stingrays will pump it through the neutral zone. Nychuk will gather. 7:28 left in the third period. Nychuk on the left wing gains the attacking line. Puck is poked off of his stick, and he will head to the bench. Stingrays are one of those teams that when they have the lead, they just really try and clamp down and go into a tight defensive structure. The long shot by Krenzen. Thumps into the pads of Septemfelter. He freezes with 7:03 to go. Cooper, Gladiators down by one. 7:03 left in the third. How aggressive do you think they should be right now? Is there any reason for them to maybe apply a little bit more pressure, or that come a little bit later on in the
Keep the
period?
same pressure. Make sure you don't lose enough energy. You got to make sure you have that for the end of the game to put more pressure on them. You got to make sure you have energy to pressure them. Can't give all of our energy away.
Stingrays win the faceoff in the Gladiators zone. Krenzen pelts it around to the left point. One-timer by Pinard, kicked away by the left pad of Semptenfelter. Shot by Radzinski, blocked by Furiolo. He's able to brush it to Boudon on the left wing. He'll gain the red line and rip it in. Around it goes to the far corner. Walter there to meet it. It's caught up by two Stingrays. Boudon enters the fray to help out. He does just that, gets it to the line. Furiolo holds and fires. His shot goes into the netting. Walter took a spill in front of the nets. 6:31 left in the third. But kind of talked about it before, being more of a net front presence. Looks like that was the idea that Walter had. Now, ended up on his rear end on that process, but the idea is there for the Gladiators. So Cooper, hopefully we see them continue to try and execute that same idea.
Yeah, we just got to make sure we get the rebounds. They're trying to put it low so we can get the rebounds. We got to make sure we have a guy there. Unlucky for them because the guy fell, but we got to make sure we keep the guy up there for them.
On comes the Magnum 9. Scardino with Nolan, the two wingers. Puck rides up the near wall. Stingray skated out. 2-on-2 up ice. Kupka gets a shot on goal. Semptenfelter hugs the post and makes the save. Clock stops with 6:17 left. Faceoff will be on the near circle. Semptenfelter on the day has stopped 29 of 32. Isley 22 of 24. And what has been the highest scoring game of the season series. 2-1 Gladiators victory the first time around. 1-0 Stingrays victory the second. Score right now 3-2 in favor of South Carolina. From the slot, McNamee tries to power it away and does. Skate through the neutral zone, chip it off the wall, pursues it for South Carolina, gets a hand on it. Stingray is able to float it to the neutral zone and swing Bolson into motion. On the right wing, beneath the circle, Kupka shoots, hits the pad of Semptenfelter, up against the post again. McNamee, I believe, took a stick up high. No penalty to be had, though. He's able to scribble out to the neutral zone and not much more. McNamee will head off for a line change. South Carolina will wait things out. The personnel change of their own. 5.5 minutes left in regulation. Stingrays work the puck in deep. Cooley beats out Les to the puck. Winding up the wall, leaves it for Guzzo. He'll turn and shoot. Glove down by Jarvis. And he will fling that puck out of play with 5:14 to go in the third. And I believe that's going to be a delay of game penalty on Andrew Jarvis. The mountain decline for the Gladiators gets a little bit taller. South Carolina 3, Atlanta 2 when we come back to the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Desserts are popping up on crumble shake. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Welcome back to Duluth. South Carolina leads it 3-2. Atlanta trying to make a comeback, but Cooper, it's going to get a little bit more difficult. Andrew Jarvis goes to the box for a delay of game penalty. In the late stages of a game like this, that is a tough penalty to take. But on the bright side, the Gladiators' penalty kill has been really, really good this season.
Yeah, we just got to make sure we put pressure on them. We have to stop them. We can't let them score, else it'll be a much, much harder game to come down from 2. Or come back from 2.
You got to think that if the Gladiators are able to come back. This penalty kill could be a factor. Atlanta has scored 5 shorthanded goals so far this season, so we won't put that out of the question either.
14:46 here in the third period, and that will put them on the Toyota penalty.
At the line, shot goes into the glove of Semptimphelter. Can't quite reel it in, though. At the line, Moore takes it back in. Moore feeds it to the slot. Rush it to the outside. Pinard across to Leipin. Leipin tries to spin away from Denemy, but he cannot. Glances out the skate of number 18. Gladiators get a clear. Leipin comes flying back in. Scoots the puck off the end wall over to the right point. Denemy steps in front of it and gets a clear. And that unit will head off for a change. Bolson flings it across, back to the middle, and Bolson runs into Semptimphelter, hits his head on the post. TJ's not happy. He springs back up, and chaos ensues. I know he's just trying to drive towards the net there, but that's a dangerous play. Semptimphelter hit the back of his head on the far goal post. Thankfully, he's back up and very animated. Everybody's got a dance partner. And we'll see if any extra penalties are added onto this. This all started on the feed to the middle and driving towards the net for the Stingrays, and the arm was raised on that sequence. We'll see if it ends up being goal interference, but I think it was Howard Truck who came flying into Semptimphelter that caused his head to hit the post. Semptimphelter's still up and about. Looks like it was actually Caden Bolson. Good eye there, Cooper. Bolson to the box. And looks like we were going to skate 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 6 seconds. Things get a little bit more interesting. Semptimphelter staying in the game. Stingrays up to 35 shots on goal. They've scored 3 times. Atlanta with 24 shots on goal. They have scored twice. And we'll see what impact the open ice on 4-on-4 may have. Cooper, what do you think here? Some open area might do the Gladiators a little bit of good.
Yeah, there's gonna be more room to work. We gotta make sure, or they just gotta make sure they play it wide. Make sure you use every single inch of this ice. It's gonna be a way faster game since it's 4-on-4, but we just gotta keep the pressure on. Use all of the ice. There's gonna be open people every day. We just gotta keep our heads up and use every single inch of the ice.
Faceoff will be to the right of Isley.
And we get you caught up on the penalty. It is on South Carolina's number 26, Caden Bolson. 2 minutes 4, goaltending.
So the penalty is goaltender interference on Bolson. That's why we skate 4 aside. South Carolina wins the defensive zone draw. Try and pelt it to the neutral zone. Pass behind Pinard. Otherwise, we had had a lot of room to roam. Instead, it goes to Nychuk. And with 4:08 left in the third, he'll leave it for Boudon. The Glads move up ice. Francis on the right wing shoots off the post and stays out. Now the Stingrays have it. Thomas smartly at the red line. Pulls up and deals it back. 30 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Over the red line goes Kupka. Tries to leave it for Leipin. That's read by Furiolo nicely. At the end wall, Kupka tries to center. Gladiators are able to skate that free. Alex Young digging deep. Works his way to the end wall. Stingrays cut him off and brush it to the right wing. Out of the box is Jarvis. Stingrays dangle to the slot. Puck is broken up off the stick of Kupka by Cipolo. So Atlanta on the power play now for the next 43 seconds. They'll have to start from their own back end. Nychuk emerges from behind Septemfelter. Has Walter on the fly. Walter harshly off the left wing wall, pass behind, and it will be an offside on the Gladiators. With 31 seconds left on the power play. So Cooper, not a lot of time here left for Atlanta on the abbreviated man advantage, but what do they need to do here to make the most out of it?
We just gotta make sure they get deep, forecheck it, just put the pressure on them, keep it in their off or defensive zone. We just gotta get it in their zone.
Furiolo at the red line, looks up, finds Sylvester. He'll tattoo it off the far corner wall. Comes to the circle, was snatched up by Webb, and he will clear for South Carolina. 13 seconds left on the penalty to Bolson. Meanwhile, Francis comes flying in. Stingrays batted away at the line. Sylvester comes in on the left side. Out of the box is Bolson. The captain works in deep. Pressured by Moore. Puck is shaken down. Sylvester able to get it back. Around the net he goes, tries to wrap it in. A backhand chance for Boudon, can't get the shot away. The Stingrays swarmed him and were able to make a defensive stand. 2 minutes left in the third. Stingrays lead at 3-2. We'll keep an eye on Septemfelter and win the Gladiators. If they don't tie this game anytime soon, they look to pull the netminder for the extra attacker. Burns wires it harshly off the end wall. Gladiators set up shop in the attacking zone. Nychuk at the left point. Skates towards the goal. Nychuk delays to the slot. Stingrays rub him off the puck. They try and clear again. Second attempt is successful. First was held in by Young. Nychuk delivers it back in the attacking zone. Burns will give chase. 1:25 left in the third. Septemfelter still between the pipes. Puck will escape the South Carolina zone. It will be retrieved by Conroy. Conroy feeds it towards his left. Jarvis divorced from the puck, and South Carolina moves up ice. Pinard towards the net in the final minute of the third. Conroy from the end wall and a sparring match with Hofer. Walter there to help out. Puck leaps up and Hofer pins it against the boards. Time is not on the Gladiators' side. 42 seconds left. Sylvester with it in the near corner, trying to escape. Atlanta needs to get up ice, and now they finally can. Conroy off the wall, just misses Walter, and that's going to be an icing on Atlanta with 31.4 to go. Tough break there for the Gladiators, Cooper. They get caught in their own end. South Carolina doing a really nice job of keeping the puck against the boards.
Yeah, they just don't want to get into their offensive zone. They gotta make sure they get out of our zone. Make sure we have someone that crushes the ice to stump it, put pressure on them. Make sure someone's in front of the net.
Faceoff will be to the right of Septemfelter. Boudon will take it for Atlanta. South Carolina wins the faceoff. Moore at the line. Brushes it towards his right. Kuka will sauce it down low. Stingrays pin it up against the near corner wall. 20 seconds left. Atlanta desperately trying to rip it away, and they do. Boudon in a hurry. Looks up ice. Feeds it towards his left. Conroy dumps it in. Septemfelter to the bench. 6-on-5. 6 seconds to go. Puck around the boards. Nychuk gets tripped up in the far corner. It's not going to matter. Time will run out on the Gladiators, and the South Carolina Stingrays take this one 3-2. Gladiators rallied back at the third to tie it, but the game-winning goal belongs to Simon Pinard. South Carolina has sole possession of first place in the South Division. They improve to 10-5. Atlanta will fall to 9-3. These two teams will meet again this Wednesday night at Gas South Arena for College Night in Duluth. We come back here on the Gladiators post-game show. We'll recap all the action that we saw here today. For those of you watching on Peachtree Sports Network, we thank you for tuning into this presentation of the ECHL. Once again, your final score, South Carolina 3 and Atlanta 2.
Desserts are popping up on crumbles menus. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Tough loss for the Gladiators here today. Close battle belongs to South Carolina. Stingrays take this one 3-2 at Gas South Arena. Chiarenza alongside Cooper Youngman. It was a tight game, gave us a lot of good entertainment, but when it mattered most, the Stingrays were able to pull through. Take this game by 1. It is the first time the Gladiators have lost a 1-goal game on home ice this season. Plenty of games left to be played, though. These two teams will meet again this Wednesday night. Something tells me that is going to be another close affair. Think about all 3 games in the season series. Every single one has been decided by 1 goal to this point. So Cooper, it was a good effort by the Gladiators to try and tie this game in the 3rd period, and they did, but things kind of slipped away from them afterwards, and the awkward goal for Pernard. And South Carolina went to full defensive mode and didn't really give the Gladiators much to work with there.
Yeah, they kept the pressure on. We couldn't get out of our defensive zone. Every time we tried, they just had someone on us. That was just a tough loss, but we'll get them next time.
South Carolina now leads the season series 2-1. This is a 9-game season set between these two clubs. And of course, as we mentioned before, these two teams will meet on Wednesday in this building. Atlanta scored the first goal here today. Anthony Furiolo, 3:50 into the first period. He was able to get a big juicy rebound in the slot and wire it into the back of the net for his 3rd goal of the season from Louis Boudon and Isaac Walter. Walter really set up that whole play, just charged into the attacking zone, sent it to the slot. Boudon took the initial shot. That was stopped by Isley. The rebound shoved in by Furiolo. But South Carolina gets a pair before the end of the first period. 7:42 in. Ludwig Persson is able to get his first goal of the year from Rodzinski and Lipin. That tied the game up at 1. And then 2.5 minutes later, 10:03 into the first period, Eden Bolson gets his 5th of the year from Kupka and Persson to make it a 2-1 South Carolina lead. And that's where we sat through the end of the first period, through the second period, which was scoreless. In the 3rd period, though, it's another early goal from the Gladiators to tie the game. 3:41 into the 3rd period. Ryan Nolan has goals in back-to-back games. He bangs it into the back of the net for the score to tie it. Scardina and Brendan Less credited with the assist. So Scardina gets his 2nd professional point, his 1st since opening night. Brendan Less has his 1st point as a Gladiator, and it's good to see the Gladiators' depth show up on that play. But things break down for the Gladiators as at 4-on-4 action, some open ice to work with. It is a breakaway for South Carolina. Kyler Kupka comes in 1-on-1 with TJ Septemfelter. He beats Septemfelter, tries to go upstairs. Puck hit the crossbar. It went away from the goal mouth, but Simon Pernard is able to pick up that rebound, and with Septemfelter down, puts it into the back of the net for what would end up being the game-winning goal. Pernard gets his 6th of the year from Kupka and Mayer. And that is all from Gas South Arena. The Gladiators were not able to tie the game, and their power play woes continue. They go 0 for 3 on the Eco-Electric power play, but the story remains the same. Atlanta 5 for 5 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill, and look to turn things around on Wednesday night against these South Carolina Stingrays. Seth Isley with the win, stops 22 of 24. TJ Septemfelter stops 32 of 35. And so Septemfelter faced a pretty heavy workload here today. Finishes the day with a .914 save percentage. And so the trend continues for the season. We're now 13 games in. And in every single game, win or lose, Gladiators netminder has registered a .900 save percentage or better. So that just kind of speaks volumes as to how good this Gladiators goaltending has been this season. But nonetheless, the stats are the stats. And ultimately, it is a loss in the column for the Gladiators here today, Cooper. But It is always an exciting battle between these two teams. What are you looking forward to the most on Wednesday night in the rematch?
I'm looking forward to the energy. These teams don't like each other, so I want to see how it goes. With them leading to this game, I wonder how Atlanta's going to respond back on Wednesday.
And the Gladiators have done a good job of responding this season when facing adversity. Talking to Mac in throughout the course of the offseason, the theme really was for him that he wanted his team to be very tough to play against. And win or lose, wanted to be able to say that they fought with pride and fought to try and tie the game or win the game right into the final buzzer. And today the Gladiators did. Tight loss 3-2, but mark my words, the Gladiators will be back. And as you said, it should be a fun matchup here on Wednesday night as the Gladiators look to bring that energy back. Wednesday night is college night. You mentioned that you're committed. Where are you going?
I'm going up to Wisconsin. I'm playing up, it's called Marion University up in Fort Dulles or something like that in Wisconsin.
You got to rep your school's colors this Wednesday for college night.
Oh, yeah.
I am a University of Utah alum. We wear red, but I don't think I can do that on Wednesday with the Stingrays in town.
No,
so
I don't think
I
you
might have to
can.
pull out a black tie. That's our secondary color. So it should be a lot of fun on college night. There are discounted tickets for college students, so make sure you head to AtlantaGladiators.com, check the promo schedule. All the info will be there. You can sign up for our newsletter and get the know before you go. And that way you can find out all the details for college night. So it should be a lot of fun on Wednesday. It'll be the fourth installment of Stingrays and Gladiators as we are now 2 games into the 5-game homestand. So, be back here on Wednesday, 7:10 puck drop, called the 6:50 pregame show. And the Gladiators look to bounce back against the Stingrays. Once again, your final score here from Duluth. South Carolina 3, Atlanta 2. I'm Guy Chiarenza for Cooper Youngman saying good night and so long. And we'll see you back again here on Wednesday.